stream going. Get that stream going. Get that stream going. Get that stream going.
Welcome, everybody, to the Making Awesome podcast. This is episode 244, all about open source, the Centauri Carbon, Eligu, and we talked about this yesterday, or I guess not yesterday, but Friday for Print Fix Friday, and it seems like there were a lot of opinions about it, and so we figured it would make a great topic for a major episode. So we'll be talking about some other things going on in the news and in the industry as well, and up front, remember there is no show next weekend. That is 3D Printopia. I will be there. Unfortunately, Jacob will not be. But, you know.
Okay, I'll be there in spirit via Doug.
Yes, that's true.
He's going to have some flies, but more importantly, we've got a little sponsor block on his printer block printer. Which is nice.
I saw that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Doug and try to steal his kidneys.
Doug is lovely. Unfortunately, you can't steal his kidneys. They're already spoken for by some shady people down in Manchester.
That makes sense. And there's also been some interesting 3D printing news happening this week with a major product that's mass-produced utilizing 3D printed titanium. So we'll be talking about that too.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I say we hit that kind of after the main subject, but you know, let's thank the sponsors and kick into it. So huge thank you goes out to Printed Solid for sponsoring the filament giveaway for these episodes. If you're in the United States and you do want to enter to win some awesome Printed Solid filament, you can do so by using that pinned chat message in the world. You have options. You can either get a free shirt, or we can take the money that the shirt would cost and donate it to a charity of your choice. The SMF is obviously one that we care quite a bit about here on the channel. And then, huge thank you, of course, to Construct 3D for sponsoring the show. The UK's fastest 3D printer launching soon, the Construct 2, a business class machine designed for your business to keep it running with full lights out production. And since it's only fitting, since I am currently dropping packets, we do have some new shirts. I'm on the Spectrum and I'm dropping packets. So if you guys want to take a look at that.
See, I couldn't tell if it was you dropping
kilograms a day possible. And literally, it would take some jobs for us here at 3D Musketeers that are taking 2 or 3 days and take them down to under 24 hours, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it.
I might be telling Doug when he comes over before Printopia that he can take as many photos as he wants for his own leak site, because I think that's so funny.
Yes, they are. They are very funny.
But you know what? There's still one more sponsor to talk about, which is the host of the show itself, 3D Musketeers. So if you're in the need for any 3D scanning, modeling, CAD design, consultation, or 3D printing, 3D Musketeers is one of the best places to go. Based in Tampa, Florida. Is Tampa, right? Or is it just outside Tampa?
It's just outside Tampa, but, call it Tampa. People know where that is.
Tampa, Florida. They have some of the most enthusiastic team that I've ever had the pleasure of working with. So if you've got some very weird projects all the way up to some very boring ones, 3D Musketeers actually cares about what you do, and they will be there for every step along the way if you need that. So again, 3dmusketeers.com. They are fantastic. I've used them, highly recommend it. They are phenomenal at what they do. There we go. We're slowly getting better at it. I'm not good with the ad-libbing. I normally like a script. Bullet points.
It's kind of what I'm known for. So I'm known for the ad-libbing. So I do not expect you to be there. And might as well remind everyone to like the stream, subscribe, all those things, and of course donate to keep the streams ad-free, which means I have to start the goal of 10 super chats for an ad-free stream, because outside of these little interruptions, the show comes to you with no other interruptions live on YouTube. So, Centauri Carbon. First, let's kind of talk about the machine, right? The machine's kind of a big deal because it's the poverty P1S, right? Let's call it what it is. It's the poverty
No,
P1S.
no, it's a poverty P1S because the poverty P1S is the flash forward.
That's only a 220 cube,
Okay.
right? The P1S is a 256 cube. So
Ah.
that really kind of puts the Centauri Carbon much closer to
So is it
being.
a poverty premium P1S?
I don't know. I'm not actually certain where that all lands, to be honest with you. Oh
I will say
God,
it's a nice looking machine. It is a nice looking machine.
dude, it is so rough today. The internet is so rough today. Sorry guys. Shane123 with the $20 saying helping upgrade the podcast to a 56K modem. I always appreciate it. And you know what? Jacob, if you want to talk about the specs, I'm going to make a special coupon code.
Okay. Okay. So, Centauri Carbon, I'm reading it off their website, so take everything with a little grain of salt because I don't know which is marketing bullshit or marketing correctness. But they are saying full auto calibration, it's a Core XY, it's a Bamboo Lab clone, it's a Core XY, 500 millimeters per second velocity. I don't know if that's print speed, travel speeds, or just the theoretical maximum of the motors. Make of that what you will. 20,000 millimeters per second squared accelerations. Again, check it in the slicer. Don't trust what marketers say. Always check what you're actually going to get. But it's also got a 256 by 256 by 256 print volume. It is fully enclosed. And I'm just going through it now. Does it have a heated chamber? I don't know. But it does have a chamber camera, which is quite nice to see, to be fair. Like, chamber cameras are one of the things that you don't realize you want it until you have one. And it can be quite useful for just checking the machine without getting up from bed. Because I'm certain half of us in the chat have been in bed listening to the printer printing. It has made a weird noise, and you're like, oh, I don't want to have to get out and go check. So that is where a camera's good. It looks like it uses piezo sensors in the bed for nozzle touch probing, so you should always get a good first layer, hopefully. A marketed top speed flow rate of 32 cubic millimeters per second, but take that with a grain of salt because it means nothing because they don't say what the materials are. And other than that, it does look like a very well made, nicely designed P1S clone. So that's pretty much it. Like, it looks like they might be using a custom nozzle, but we kind of expect that nowadays because that's how they earn their money. And for the full Centauri Carbon, it's £299, which is probably like $350. But I
300.
don't
It's
know
the
if they
same.
do.
It's the same in US dollars.
Once again, the UK gets shafted. We've just put the pound sign in front of it.
And because it happens to be my favorite day of the year, Earth, Wind, and Fire Day, I have just put
You
a.
found it!
That's not the actual one.
Oh.
I know I gave it to Joe Pruscia. So about 2 years ago, Joe Pruscia was here. We were chatting about audio. And he was in the chat, and he said, "Hey, next time you come to Prague, bring me some albums." Joe is a DJ. That's what he does, for fun. So I brought him some albums that are very significant to my life and my growing up because at the time, he was going to be a brand new father. And so I said, you know what? These albums helped shape me to be who I am as a person, so I want to give them to you. I know my father has a copy of the Earth, Wind, and Fire's Greatest Hits album, which is where they released September, but I can't find it. So we just grabbed a bunch of my Earth, Wind, and Fire albums. I have pretty much every album they've ever released, because they are my favorite band, and today is the 21st night of September, if you will. So for the rest of the day, we will offer 21% off the merch at shop.30musketeers.com using the code 09212025 EWF Day. That will get you, and it's in the chat. I won't pin it because it'll replace the pin message, but you know how it goes. Also, Randy Parker with the $10 saying, you have been more, but the rest got packet dropped. Oh, okay. I don't know what that really means, to be honest with you, but
the message obviously got packet dropped as well.
It appears so. So the nice thing is, obviously, we record these locally. So we have a clean recording of this show. So if something does go wrong, we have a clean show locally. But yeah, there you
And if
guys
you want
go.
to
Enjoy.
see the clean local recordings in HD, because you don't get Vaseline camera, Jacob, you get very nice high quality, Jacob, and the UI that you're watching now is improved as well. Go over to the Making Awesome Podcast YouTube channel, which is a separate YouTube channel, which we should probably be linking in
Yeah, we should
the
probably start
credits to this.
sponsoring the show with the channel. Just go to youtube.com/ the @ sign Making Awesome. You'll find the Making Awesome YouTube channel where we are releasing edited down episodes, which is pretty cool.
Yep, I've just posted it in the chat. So if everybody could, it would be very nice for me. Please do it for me. Not Grant, me. Go over to the channel, subscribe to it. It is different content than what you're seeing here. This is the unedited, live, shooting the shit on the wall. Whereas the Making Awesome channel is honestly making awesome because all of the videos are highly curated. They are edited down, higher quality. And then if you only want to see little segments, which I kind of am addicted to, even though it's me on the own video and I said stuff,
Yep, we
you
cut
can
them
go
down
over
as
there
well.
and see little bits.
There's individual segments.
And yes, there are Grant rants in it. There are entire segments where there might be a Grant rant.
Yes. Yeah, we don't cut that stuff out. We're cutting down a lot of this kind of stuff, the fluff, the off-topic stuff, the things that don't make a ton of sense to be in an edited down episode. We cut that stuff out, so it makes life a little bit easier for you all. So yeah, 21% off the merch store for the rest of the day. So enjoy. You'll have to scroll back up through the chat to find it, I guess. But yeah, it's there. I promise. So yeah, the Centauri Carbon is a monster of a machine, right?
It looks it.
For $300, you have to cut corners somewhere.
I mean, hell, just like looking at the accreditation this machine has, it's 2025 design winner for the IF Design Award. It's 2025 best FDM printer. It's got a gold design for Muse Designs award. Like they are not wrong. This machine
at $300,
is
it's very hard to compete with that machine. Anybody.
Yeah.
Even Bamboo. And Bamboo's kind of known for being like, hey, look, we're going to offer you the best bang for your buck physically available on the market. But even Bamboo has a hard time competing with this because it's that good of a value. Now, I will say, we do not have them here in the shop. We are looking to get some, but we don't have any just yet. And one of the major reasons for this is that they are not in compliance with GPL 3.0 for the fact that they are using a firmware based on Clipper. Now,
okay. Now I'm gonna show some bias right now.
Okay.
Or not, bias is not the right word, but something that I should probably be aware of. What exactly is the GPL3 license? I know it is a open source license and that it is supposed to be there on open source projects to keep it safe, but I'm not entirely knowledgeable about these licenses.
I'm not either, but I have Google. GNU Public License version 3.0 is a prominent open source license that requires any derivative or modified version of the software to be distributed under the same GPL v3 license. A concept known as strong copy left. It was released in 2007, includes a Tivioization provisions to prevent hardware from restricting the ability to run modified software, and an explicit grant of patent rights to protect users from patent litigation. So, now, instead of copyright, it's copy left. I dig that. And so, when you're using a firmware like Clipper that is open source, you must open source your firmware too. That's part of the deal, right? For reference, the video on Friday was 45 minutes raw. I think we cut it to like 20, 21.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of like me talking about it that you simply just missed. You missed it completely. It wasn't there. So we did that because of just brevity reasons. We're like, we can turn this into a podcast. You know, we'll make a show out of it. But this is really the biggest problem that we have right now. And if you want, you can go to freethecode.lol to actually, like, you know, see what literally we're going to be going through the freethecode.lol so that you guys can also get some understanding as to what's going on and why it matters, because it is a big deal, right? We are not, we recognize that without open source, this industry does not exist. Does not.
Oh no. Like the entire reason even the Centauri Carbon can exist is because they didn't have to develop firmware from the ground up. Because that
Correct.
is expensive.
Yep.
Arguably, it's a lot more expensive than the machine itself. Because all of these new cheap machines require good software control. And that has been built up over the years on the shoulders of giants to get to this stage where cheap hardware can do high quality. So,
Yeah, and you know,
yeah.
so hilariously, you mentioned the 85M. The Centauri Carbon suffers from a similar problem in that it is crippled by really, really cheap hardware. It has so little built-in memory that putting mainline Clipper on it is basically impossible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're using a modified version of Clipper, but because it's still Clipper, they have to release it. And so this is the exact same issues that we see with Anycubic. And in fact, they're running almost identical boards to the Anycubic. I believe it's the Cobra S1 and their Core XY machine. I forget what it's called, the Anycubic Core XY machine. Those are all running similar boards. Eligu is... Look, I love Eligu. Now, they're all resin printers. From OG Eligu Marses with the RGB screens. Still work. We don't use them often. All the way up to a pair of the original Eligu Jupiters, because the door is better than the big top that has to come off. The big top that has to come off is stupid. So, I like their machines, and Eligu has kind of cemented themselves in this industry as being a low-cost provider. They are never, ever first to the plate. They are not. They sit back, they watch what other manufacturers do, and they look at how can we make things more efficient, more streamlined for the end user, and make it for less money, right? The Eligu Mars was the first kind of really affordable resin 3D printer on the market and absolutely obliterated the resin market. I mean, the Anycubic Photon...
when the Mars came out, it literally kind of deleted industrial resin printers from a lot of people's considerations.
Well, it also forced Anycubic to go lower on the Photon. So the original Photon was selling at like $500 to $700.
Yeah.
Which was still very cheap. Eligu released the Mars Gen 1 at like $200 or $300. That's it. And it forced the entire industry to lower their prices, cut their prices, or lose out on sales. You didn't have a choice. And it worked. And now we have really affordable resin printers because of this.
Yep. And I will say resin printers is definitely the one area that more companies should be looking at, because they've done an entire like product ecosystem like development that normally takes decades in like 2 years. Like that cost change to hardware change over time is something you normally see over generations. And Eligu were able to do it with one machine, which was scary, but really good for consumers. Like really good. Like hell, like them even when they went to mono screens and everything, they went from 7 to 15 seconds per layer, which was industrial standard, bear in mind. You could buy £250,000 resin printers that took the exact same amount of time, and then they suddenly reduced it to 2. That is generation breaking.
I mean, literally, we were looking at getting a Prusa SL1 because, yeah, I mean, even that was affordable back in the day. And I asked myself, do I want 7 resin printers or do I want 1?
Yep.
I got
I
7.
mean, even like us, we couldn't afford our industrial resin printer
Oh, they're too
because they're
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, they're way
They're
too
way too
expensive.
expensive. So we borrowed one. We borrowed one from Warwick Manufacturing Group, and they got theirs. They own theirs from Photocentric. Now, the Photocentric machine that we were using was a Magna, and it is a big format. Like the plates won't even fit in the screen for this video. They are huge. They are heavy. They're like 15-kilo aluminium plates. And that entire printer system, I think, cost £20,000 or maybe £40,000. I can't remember, but it was a very big, expensive cost. And we were using them, and they were fairly good. It's an industrial resin printer. However, comparison is the thief of all joy. So, of course, we're going to try the cheap £200. And in this case, it was an Anycubic Mono 1. It was the first generation mono printer for £200. And we checked them under a microscope and everything, and they were doing this same job. The
Yep.
same job, the same tolerances, if not better. And when the Magna failed, because it did fail a few times, it would wipe the entire plate. Whereas the Anycubics we had, well, I don't care if it fails. It's a £200 machine. I
Right.
can run 50 of them for the same price as one industrial resin printer.
And, if your print fails, it's not that big of a deal anymore. And when
Oh, and
and
even
when
better, you can use the same resins of the industrial one on the cheaper one. So I was just pouring in these big 5 liter jugs, or what is 5 liter? A gallon? Is it a gallon jug? What you call it over there?
be 4
Like,
liters would be a
yeah,
gallon.
yeah,
3.89 liters to a gallon.
cool. Gallon jug, I'm going to call it. And we were just pouring industrial gallon jugs into cheap £200 resin printers, and they were doing a damn fine job.
Mhm.
So this is what Eligu are great at, is taking big, expensive machine, making it cheaper without necessarily losing
Yeah.
perceived
Like,
quality.
I've never cleaned a vat ever.
I've
Uh,
done it twice and I gave up, realizing it doesn't do anything.
I've only changed FEP once, and that was on camera when we did a video. I don't change FEP anymore. I just replace the build plates. I replace the whole vat because the labor involved with cutting all the holes and no, screw that. I will keep. I will wash the messed up vat. I'll hold on to it. When the printer finally dies, we'll donate it with all the broken vats, with extra parts and all the stuff that's needed to repair it, to the local makerspace. They'll either decide to fix it or they'll salvage it for parts.
Yep.
It is a much, much, much better system.
Hell,
For
I
us at
literally
least.
have off camera a Formlabs 2 Plus resin printer, and I was modifying it. Like I replaced because it used like a weird like platinum silicon bed. It was like a gel that you had to cure to put the resin in. It didn't have a FEP sheet. So I was modifying that printer. I was like taking it apart, putting in a FEP sheet version of the vat. I had a custom like aluminium mount, and then I literally got my first like Eligu resin printer. And I'm like, yep, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, why am I going to spend all the money and time bringing a machine up to speed when I could just spend 200 to 400 quid and get a fully functional machine that costs less than the silicone that I add in the vat? Like, I don't know what it is. It's like a PPMA like silicon weirdness thing, but it that's expensive. And you have to refresh that. It's more expensive than just buying a new resin printer. So I just bought a new resin printer
Yeah,
and it was great.
with the cost of the machines, it never made sense to fix them. It only made sense to replace them. Um, Doug with the £2. Thank you very much, sir. Greatly appreciated. Um, yeah, I think that Eligu's on to something with the Centauri Carbon, but they're not without their issues. We saw that Willow Creative has kind of been like one of the larger people to have this issue where the cable, the connector for the tool head goes to like a 90-degree angle, and over time it gets stressed and it cracks and fails, it starts to short because it's running 3.5 amps. And I guess this is not an isolated incident. There are multiple issues of this. So I guess next week we get to have an entire Print Fix Friday about it. And add it to the list of broken components that we are looking to get in so that they can be tested by a professional lab.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, for everyone in the chat, I've seen 5 people now talk about it. The English accent in Lincoln is trash. It is rated the worst accent in the
Can you just
entirety of
say
the
aluminum
country.
for me?
Aluminum. Aluminium.
No,
Aluminum.
no. See, I only clipped the
Aluminium.
part where you said aluminum.
No, but no, well, see, even now, like I'm putting on quite, what is the words? When we are told to say a word, we default to a London accent most of the time, or at least London pronunciation. So if you tell me, like, say Bath, we will say Bath. But if I'm doing it in a sentence, we'll call it up here in the north, a bath. And it's a very interesting thing with English accents. So one of the things is I will say silicon, and there is like 3 apostrophes in it because I'm shortening the word. Whereas I do know the difference between silicone and silicon,
Yeah.
but we don't say silicon with an O. We say silicon with a C apostrophe N.
And that's fine, but you do need to know the difference between silicone and silicon. Or silicon.
Yes.
All right. Right. One drives your computer. The other one drives your internet search history that you should probably remember to use incognito for.
Yeah, just use incognito. I know some people who refuse to use incognito because they live alone. And trust me, when I come visit your house, the very first thing I'm doing is typing in individual letters into the search bar to see what your search history comes up as the first things. It is funny.
I'm
It's search
very
history
curious
roulette.
if I use P. Oh, it's PayPal. Oh, that's so terrible. The second one is printables, then polar filament, and then Prusa 3D.
Mine is even more telling. I type in P, and the first thing that comes up is PC part picker.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
then it's parsec, and then it's printables. And then it's watches I reincarnated as the 7th so I can take my time perfecting my magical abilities on Crunchyroll. Don't know where P comes into that, but that is the last one.
You know, it is what it is. So the issue that we have with the Centauri Carbon is like all Eligu has to do is release the firmware, right? That's it. That's all that's needed. If they release the effing firmware, we're cool. But for some reason, they're not. And they keep giving these canned responses of like, oh, there's a technical issue. There's not a technical issue. Release it. It's a very simple thing. And there have been two creators that are an order of magnitude larger than us that reached out because of the Print Fix Friday video. And like, hey, can I get the link? I'm like, it was in the description, but here you go. Because they have direct contacts at Eligu that I don't. And so, yeah. I'm hoping that they will be able to kind of get the ear of Eligu as it was. Because we don't want this to become a problem. It is a problem currently. Eligu has the opportunity to fix it. Or what I think is going to end up happening is that people are simply just going to crack it. And if the keys get released and now can directly develop their own firmware for it, Eligu is going to get left in the dust. Because at that point, the user is not required, in my opinion, to share the open source code anymore. They can just upload hex codes, or they can lock it. There's a way to lock firmware so you can't screw
Oh, they
with it.
hash it.
Hash it.
They
Thank
probably
you, not
hash
hex.
it. Yeah.
They'll hash it. And that should work better. And that will keep
Noisy's
Eligu
in the chat, and they're saying they even denied using open source at the start.
Yes, they did. They at first denied it. To
Really?
be clear, yes. And to be clear, most companies do. Most companies deny it until like evidence beyond a reasonable doubt is presented, and then they can't deny it anymore.
I don't like that. So if I did that in the UK for reference, that will not fly. If I deny it even once, we get sued.
Yeah, but see, it's China.
Consumer credits in the consumer credit, it's not consumer credit, Consumer Compliance Acts and all of that is very strict. Like, we can't lie. We are legally not allowed to lie.
It's China. You can't sue them. I mean, and that's the thing. They are protected by the government. Love it or hate it, they are protected like that. And I believe that there are people inside of Eligu that want to do good, but the decision makers are saying, no, 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 no. They'll go away. Give them enough time, they'll go away. David Connor Shover with the $10 saying, have you considered DSL? It might be more reliable than this because good Lord have mercy.
Hell, at this rate, bouncing a radar dish off the stratosphere to get to a better terminal might be more reliable.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Hey, I know somebody who could set that up for you.
No. Whatever you're claiming to do, no. That's
you
all.
just need 2 microwave transformers, a radar dish, and a converter, and you can bounce microwave communication off the stratosphere.
But
or the ionosphere. I can't remember which one. But it'll be funny. You can have a semi-illegal, depending on where you live, I don't know what your laws are, communication that will heat up birds if they fly in the flight line.
I mean, I'm sure there are licenses that I can obtain to have that. But no.
But it's narrowband, so they only know it's there if they actually go in it. So you won't get caught.
I guess.
See, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I am a bad influence.
Penguin Maker saying I should be able to get Frontier in my area. I can't. Spectrum shirts, I'm on the Spectrum and I'm dropping packets. Like, literally, I just got samples of these in for myself and it's perfect to be wearing. It's like Spectrum knows that I'm making fun of them. So yeah, I'm on the Spectrum and I'm dropping packets. That's literally the shirt that I'm wearing today. You can check it out, shop.3dmusketeers.com. And if you use the code, here, I'll put the link in the chat again. There, that gets you 21% off of the store today, because it's Earth, Wind, and Fire Day.
That's nice.
So if you do want to get yourself I'm on this. You have an unlimited code for free merch.
Good friends don't use free merch codes.
Just buy the effing merch. It's either that or I'm gonna send Doug back with a bunch of DTF transfer sheets, and you're gonna have to get your own shirts and your own heat press and do it yourself.
That would be funny. But even more funny is the first thought in my head when you said DTF transfer sheet was not the actual name of the product, but just here's a transfer sheet with the word DTF on it.
No, it's direct to film.
Yeah.
So
that should be merch. 3D Musketeers DTF shirts.
I should have it
down for
Victoria.
Filaments. That's what it means. I don't know what you're talking about. Down for filament. Come on.
No. Oh my god. Yes, I'm DTF down for filament. All right, hold on. Mad Cat, any of the staff, put that into the branded products. I'm DTF down for filament. I'm gonna do that since I don't think anyone's here.
Oh.
And then we gotta have one saying I love fiber, and it's the cat chewing on a fiber cord. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about my internet. I'm so sorry.
Even at this point, I'm starting to think that with the price you're paying, Starlink might be a good idea.
It's the latency becomes too high for remote editing.
Because Starlink doesn't make much sense in the UK if you have internet, because our internet is cheap. Like, yep. I'm on 400 megabit per second download with 40 megabit per second upload, and I'm paying like £28 a month.
I should be paying 120 a month for 500 or 600 down and only 20 up. I have negotiated down to $80 a month.
That's still a lot.
Yes.
That's still a lot
for non-reliable internet. So
I am actually just going to get,
and I can't afford to move.
Virgin business.
Here's the fun problem of being a small business owner, where you take all the money you make and you reinvest it back into the company. You have no history of making money, so you have no history of income personally. So if you want to buy a house and you can't buy it in cash, you can't buy a house.
Grant, you're gonna hate me.
I have great credit, but I don't have an income history to be able to get a loan.
Grant, get that picture I just sent you on Discord on your phone and show it to the chat. Because if I have to turn off the background blur, and it's just too much of a pain. But also, this forces Grant to read it, and you are going to watch his face when he actually reads it.
I don't want this. I don't want to do this. I don't
Too bad,
consent.
you're being forced.
I don't consent.
You've not said your safe word yet.
No. Oh, wait, bamboo, right? Oh, God. 1,000 down, 100 up for 26 quid. Jeez. 100 down, 26
so
up.
Good.
1,000 down, 26 up.
Yeah.
Or 1,000 by 100 for 26 quid. I am having a day. Yeah, it's part of the deal. Part of the deal of living out in what was the boonies. Now it's becoming more gentrified, I guess. I don't know the right term for it. There's more rich people moving in, and I'm not rich. But
also, for anyone who wanted that link, it's now in the chat. The quick way to get it is just say you're a private business. Just say you're a sole trader at a home address, and you can get it.
Yeah, I've tried that too. You know, and one of the big issues, if you are on like a metered or limited connection, is that according to freethecode.lol, Apple servers have high network traffic with this machine, upwards of 70 gigabytes per month of network traffic.
That's a lot. Bear in mind, 70 gigabytes per month, depending on where you live, that's your entire upload budget.
Right. Yeah. If you are on a metered internet where you have a limited amount of bandwidth that you can use every month, or you're paying per gigabyte, that's a problem. And there's no reason that any machine should upload 70 gigabytes of data a month to a cloud, to anything. And it's not just Apple servers, apparently, and it's way more, according to DevMiner. And DevMiner is one of the people who are active in the Hack Centauri Discord, which can we like get at everybody in that server, let them know that we're streaming? That'd be kind of cool. Just saying.
Oh, no, now you've said that, I actually feel kind of mixed. I hate
or at least can someone post it in there that's not me?
At here is okay. At everybody is a dick move.
Just someone post it that's not me. So I feel less obligated. You know, I feel less of like a shill for myself. Oh, it's Open Centauri. Excuse me. They say it's Hack Centauri. It's Open Centauri. You're correct. Dominic says, I use Spectrum and Loots, $50 per month. My latest speed test was $545. Yeah, I can't get that. I'm on the other side of 75 from you. So you all are welcome to make fun of me for my crappy internet. It is what it is. I can't change it. But yeah, network traffic is a huge issue. And we've talked about my distrust in general with cloud servers and, you know, what the machines are capable of doing. You have to realize what 3D printers have in them. They have all the tech that you need for a presence detection system.
I was actually just going to say that because I just had a brainwave.
Yeah.
Do we know the resolution of the camera inside the printer?
I don't think it points to anything outside, so I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I would believe it's probably 1080p. 720 or 1080. It's more than adequate for...
If that's like a 5 megabit per second camera, I'm going to quickly do the math.
Oh,
but I'm going to see
streaming.
I think they might either be dead streaming or streaming it to some form of service.
Well, 1080p is what? 1.4 megs a second? 720p 30 FPS. That's what it is. According to DevMiner. So you have everything in a 3D printer that you need for presence detection. You have... Some printers have humidity sensors. Most don't, but some do. You have temperature, and you have multiple temperature sensors, right? The temperature is the easiest way for me to determine if you're home, because very few people make their homes colder when they're not there. Most people make their homes colder when they're at the home, and then they let the home warm up a little bit during the day, because why pay to keep it cool? But if the camera can see outside of the chamber at all, you have an issue where, yes, if a bad actor, and again, this is a big if, but it is not outside of the world of possibilities, right? A casino was hacked by a wireless thermometer, a internet connected thermometer and heater in a fish tank. Okay, if a casino was hacked by that, your 3D printer is not safe whatsoever. I don't care. Now, mind you, very few of us exist as like a hard target for this kind of thing, but you certainly exist as a soft target, someone who just happens to be collateral damage in trying to get to a larger target. So please lock down your networks. If you do have a machine like this and you're noticing a lot of traffic, limit its upload speed. It's that simple. Very, very simple. So Jacob,
Okay, so
what's
I've
the
done the
number?
math. So assuming 4 megabits per second,
Okay.
which is obviously 4 million bits a second, just for
Yeah.
reference.
We
Converting
stream
that
it
into bytes.
8,000.
Yeah, so converting that into bytes, it's about 500,000 bytes per second. Times that by 60 to make it into minutes, times that by 60 again to make it into hours, times that by 24. You get about 40 gigabytes per day. Now,
Okay, so that's not it.
that is if it was at full resolution bitrate, which it probably isn't, because you don't need full resolution bitrate when you're talking about these devices. And something tells me these printers can't actually do 30 like frames per
Yeah,
second.
probably not. They only
They're
have
probably
128 megabytes of like
yeah.
RAM.
So if they're doing what I would assume, which is 5 frames per second, we divide that by 20, because that is the ratio going from 30 to 5 is no, it's 6. So we divide by 6.
Real
So
quick, Zaxman did send me a picture of what the camera in the Centauri Carbon can see. It could not see outside of the chamber. So at least they
okay.
did that right.
But yeah, so roughly if it was doing between 5 frames per second and 2 frames per second, you would be looking at between 40 gigabytes to 140 gigabytes per month if it was dead streaming, which is in the ballpark for the
Yeah.
data rate.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Because
that's
like somebody in the chat did say, I'm sorry, I've lost your name, that it was only doing online checks, like it's checking is it online, but that should not be sending that much data.
No, there's no reason that any internet connected device should be sending that level of data unless it is a wirelessly streaming camera all the time. I physically can't think, like, dude.
I mean,
what? Like your average
my
print
for example,
files.
my printers are very powerful, and the reason why they've got an Amtel chip in them to run the internal state. We update the internal state of the machine every 100 milliseconds.
10 times a second.
And that it's 10 times a second just for internal checking. This isn't even what the printer is doing itself. This is just for users to
Right.
see the internal state.
Right.
That doesn't get to 50 gigabytes per month of data throughput. And we are doing the entire diagnostic log every 100 milliseconds.
I mean, think of like your average print file, 20, 30 megabytes. You would have to be printing. So for easy math, I'm going to say 25 megabytes for a print file, 1,000 megabytes per gigabyte. Okay, I know it's 1024, but work with me on the 1,000. So it's 4 files to get to 100 megs, 40 files to get to a gig by times 7. So you would need 280 prints a month at 25 megs a piece that you're sending over the cloud to have that machine use that much network traffic. I don't think that that's possible. Now, if you had a print farm full of machines, let's say you had 100 machines, okay, fine. I can absolutely look at that and say, okay, 70 gigs, reasonable, right? Because that's less than a gig per machine at 100 machines. But 70 gigs or more on one machine?
That I
Brother.
realized something. How many people have actually bought this machine for print farms?
I would guess that
I bet
there's a
that's more
lot of
than
them in
one.
print farms.
So
There's no, I
imagine
mean,
just the pain of somebody who isn't a network admin
oh yeah.
buying 20 machines for their little print farm they're setting up for their local city or something, and then they're going to connect on their phone and they can download YouTube because it's a download. And it'll probably feel great. And the moment they try to make a phone call, there is nothing because all of the printers are just there going like, give me your data. I'm sorry, that is so funny to me.
And like,
That is painfully funny.
and people are saying to use Wireshark. Wireshark is only good if you understand the output from it. And Wireshark, if they're encrypting the traffic, which, good lord, I hope they are. But if they're encrypting the traffic, it's going to be of zero value to you anyways. Wireshark is only good for like unencrypted traffic or to determine what devices on your network are a problem. So like we run smoke ping on our network to determine if any of the systems on our network are creating packet loss. And I can pull it up, but it is a huge load on Google Chrome to do it. So I'm not going to. But traditionally, we run sub 7 milliseconds internal.
That's good.
And that is from my computer through a switch to our custom router, to their modem, and to their first hop. 7 milliseconds to their first hop.
Okay, I was gonna say like if you didn't add the first hop, we probably need to look at your network setup because 7 milliseconds is a lot of time. But then you said two first hop. That's okay then.
Internally, we run under 400 microseconds.
Yeah.
And we are
That's
not
what I
fiber.
expect.
We are still running copper internally.
But internally it doesn't really matter. Like the distances don't really affect it that much.
Yep. And so this is where the concern comes in, is that what is doing it? Is it as simple as a firmware engineer made an turned a 0 into a 1 and now all of a sudden it's streaming? Or is there a nefarious thing behind it? Right? Eligu, to whatever credit I can give them for this machine, they have been really, really good about updating users when they make new revisions to these machines. And I guess it's changed now, but for a certain amount of time, if you had a Gen 1, you could be upgrading it. I think they're in like Gen 4 or Gen 5 right now for the Centauri Carbons. Like the Gen 1s didn't have lights, and if they had lights, they were bad lights. The Gen 4, Gen 5 have much nicer lights now on the interior so you can see things. Eligu was offering those upgrade kits to people that had the older machines for no cost. And you know what? I can dig it. I can totally dig it. But I also believe that maybe do a little bit more beta testing.
I think
You know.
Randy Parker in the chat has it right though, especially when it comes to like
Hanlon's
what
razor.
they're streaming. Hanlon's razor. Don't attribute anything to malice which you could attribute to stupidity.
Yeah.
And in this case, one of the easy checks is what does Eligu gain from taking all of your data? Unlike Bamboo Lab, where they have scale to utilize that data and actively use it to earn something, Eligu isn't that big. They are very
Eligu's much
scrappy
larger
with
than
their
you
size.
think.
Not big enough in a scale term to justify data collection at that level.
I believe
Because to do that, you need to like you're talking micro percentages for optimizations, but also when you're taking that level of data, it's because you want to grow a specific like area. Like Bamboo Lab can take your data and they can actually actively design a machine based on the sheer quantity of data. Eligu doesn't really have enough users to go, hey, we want to spin up an AI development thing that has a laser cutter, like what Bamboo Lab did, because they don't have the data source to justify that. They also don't have the engineers. Like, if they did, they wouldn't be doing this type of game. They'd be fighting much higher.
So
And from that alone, I can pretty much say there's nothing malicious, touch all the wood in my building, hopefully, with this data.
to be fair to everybody, I believe that it is best to assume that there is a potential bad reason for this, and then to prove that it's not. The same way that we operate on zero trust, right? We do not trust devices here at the facility. It is not something that we do. It's not safe for us to do that. And when when a company says, "Oh, we can't give this to you because it's encrypted," it's only encrypted until we crack it. It's only encrypted until someone cracks it. It's only encrypted until you piss somebody off enough to unencrypt it. And then we find out. And if you've been hiding behind encryption as oh, it's safe because it's encrypted, I'm going to yell at you. The same way that we've yelled at Bamboo, and I've gone after them many times for their excessive data collection and network usage for their machines. Have they gotten better? Sure, to some extent. But now we're seeing them slowly start to lock down their own slicer. They have all these great new features that are SAS-based. There's no other slicer on the market, asterisk of Simplify 3D, I guess, that has anything like
Simplify
this.
3D.
I mean, they're technically still on, but...
But to be honest, if you're buying Simplify 3D, I'm just going to sit you down and ask if you're feeling okay. If you want to burn money on stupid software, you can download more RAM on the internet.
Or you can just buy an expensive kit of RAM like I did. Yeah,
buy merch. Buy merch of that money. Go do it.
The network traffic is something that worries me, but I am what the tech community classifies as a dangerous end user. Most end users are notoriously dangerous. I am a level above a normal end user where I know enough to break things and know how to break them, but putting them back together is not very much my specialty. I just ask for help. I made a nice upgrade and I'm very proud of myself for this.
Oh, go on.
I bought an Atomos Ninja. It is a field monitor for cameras. This is a field monitor. This is the field monitor we currently use. This is a FeelWorld F6 Plus. I have a custom cooling solution on the back of it that we designed and 3D printed all in-house, and it runs off of the battery that you power the screen off of. The thing the Atomos Ninja does that this doesn't is it takes SSDs. So you know how Sony cameras limit you to 29 minutes?
Yeah.
Now they don't. Because you're recording the HDMI output from it. That's what you're recording. And this gives us a backup recording as well. So now we have opportunities. Nice. Yeah. And so, I spent some good money on it. But I did that knowing that they had closed source stuff associated with it. So I went on a print, found that you can just print out the adapter that adapts the closed source SSD of Atomos to a standard 2.5-inch SSD. That's it. It's a 25-minute print for two of them. It was 15 grams of filament for two of them. That's what makes this industry amazing. And I hate when companies do this. Huh?
Elite Dangerous in the chat was mentioned.
I am Elite Dangerous. Yeah, that's fair.
That is such a good game.
Dev Miner. No index for you, Grant. No. See, Olaf, I'm a good beta tester because I can break things. This is why I'm a good beta tester. You document it
as you break it.
Yes.
You just ask them for help when you need to put it back
Normally,
together.
I just do it live so that when it breaks, I can also get assistance from the chat as to why it breaks.
Arguably not good for beta testing. Sometimes companies want to hide them being broken.
Well, yes. We are actively beta testing 2 machines right now that I haven't even told Jacob about. And I can't, because I'm under a non-disclosure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. And there are discussions with companies right now that I cannot tell Jacob about because there's under NDAs. And there's a really cool print next to me that I can't show you because it's under an NDA. But yeah,
is that the print I can see in the very edge of the Zoom window that the stream can't see? This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, when you reframe the
Absolutely
entire shot,
not. Oh, yes.
Please reframe it so it shows it, but just blur it out.
Blur the hell out of it. Yeah, that'd be really funny. Oh, that'd be so funny.
Make sure it's the very big pixelated blur that only gets done on bad porn videos.
Just have to randomly throw Earth, Wind, and Fire across the screen. Olaf says he's gonna cherry pick an index for me. Why is it gonna be his index finger and that's it? Like he's gonna mail me a 3D print of an index finger and that's gonna be. My God! Wait a minute. Can you make the
No, that has to be the
package?
bed level. No, that has to be the bed leveling. You have to have a finger that's just like,
No, because then I'm gonna say I'm fingering the bed, and then that's just weird.
is
I
it
mean,
though?
whatever.
We've done weirder things.
It's true. We have
I mean, hell, you used to go swinging.
swing dancing,
Yeah,
sir.
same thing, right?
No,
And we're both racists. We
no.
both like race cars.
I, you notice how I'm not responding to this anymore because this is a day you are on a dangerous hill right now, good sir. Because I think being racist is illegal in your country. It's pretty much the law in
No, no,
mine.
no. It's still legal. It's just your class as a twat.
Ah, no, no, Grant, be quiet. Don't reply what that makes you in America. Don't do that. But if you know, you know.
I feel like there is a communication barrier between that word now, and I need to Google it. Should I Google it, or do I Google image it?
I'm literally just gonna message you what it makes you because it's funnier that way.
Do I need
There.
to go Australian?
No.
Oh.
You can say it. I won't say it. You can. I don't care.
I don't need to. It's funnier that the chat's going to be trying to actually in the chat. Everyone
Yeah.
leave what they think it means. Give us
Olaf
engagement.
says so. An index tool for an index, a finger you can pick up. You know, honestly, that would be really funny if you guys did a video of index, but like everything looked like an index finger, and it could pick up, like, hide the beacon. I know you've got it mounted to the tool, but hide the beacon inside of an index fingerprint, and that's the thing that goes through and scans. Oh my God, that would be the most.
That has to be for April Fools. That'd be so good.
Yeah, that would be such a great April Fool's joke.
The
Oh my
index
God.
finger edition.
I would do it. I would print it. I would do it. As it is, I'm putting index on every printer that's supported that we own. Going to be clear. And certainly further printer purchases for the facility will be decided by which ones have index support. But yeah, I do look at index is an open source, but they're going on well, I guess Core 1 isn't open source either. Say they're going on an open source printer, but they're not. Core 1 isn't open source. Some of it is.
Interesting.
Right. And you know, even Prussia has kind of a spotty history with open source, right? They release kind of like the bare minimum and only when people ask. They don't volunteer it like they used to. And there's part of me that understands that. And then there's part of me that, oh, screw you, Olaf. There's part of me that understands that. And then there's part of me that also thinks that's a bit of an abuse, right? So the reason that companies wouldn't open source until asked is because if you do, you're just giving your competition all the ways to beat you, right? And just do it for less. But at the same time, you're also not really... yeah, I feel like you're not following the rules at that point. Yeah. Kali said, I know one thing, the printers in the background only store things. Yeah, the Mark IIIs back there are kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie. The 3 Mark IIIs behind me they're kind of sad right now.
So I have plans to get rid of them.
You do?
Oh yeah.
I was gonna turn them into 3.5s and a Prussia wire and a couple of other things, but you want to?
We have plans.
I don't want to destroy them.
No,
okay.
that's such an American thing. God no.
Okay, so then I can still upgrade them and yeah. Okay.
I have plans.
Yeah.
I have plans.
See, Nomad's here. Prussia wires. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You should do that. Do that on live stream. So then you can finally also do Clipper on live stream.
So, all right, I'm going to go a little off topic on this.
What, we're not already off topic?
I mean, that's fair.
That's what they're here for. They're here just to hear us rant about random technology.
So I feel like people have kind of noticed that we haven't been doing Wednesday live streams, and we haven't released a Wednesday video in a long time either. Wednesday live streams I'm not doing right now because, one, we're very busy. We have a lot of work going on right now. And two, it is so effing hot right now that it is offensively hot in my garage. Even I have a 14,000 BTU air conditioner in there, a dual hose portable air conditioner. It is a good air conditioner. It is not enough, even at full blast, to keep my garage above or below like 27, 28 degrees Celsius. No, probably 30. Let me see. Let me get the conversion. It's 32 outside right now.
Okay.
And it's 27 in here. 27 is fine.
Are you sure you just don't need to like add more refrigerant to your AC line?
You can't, first off. I'm very certain, but it's because the...
Whoa. What do you mean you can't?
These are not serviceable air conditioners.
What?
Mm-hmm.
How are they not serviceable?
They don't have a service port. Not that I could find. I mean, I might have to really dig it apart, but...
Like, are these like a mini split where you've got your condenser somewhere and then... Or are these just like a window unit where it's all in one?
It's all in one, but it's in a thing on wheels, and it's got hoses. Yeah, Dale Dickey's pointing out the thing. I have to insulate my garage. But instead, we're going to be expanding the shop. If you are in our Discord, available at the $10 tier and higher, you will actually have early access to the current working plans of the new shop expansion and what that's going to look like. So, if that's your kind of thing, $10 tier and higher, links in that description down below. Newer ones use propane. Do they really?
Yes. Yeah, because CFC's got banned, remember?
I've got tons of propane. Like, I've got like 200 gallons of propane around the house.
Okay, just for reference, just in case you're questioning like AC in your new expansion, you can get a dedicated mini split condenser and thing for like 300 quid.
You can't do that in the States, but it's much more expensive here. Tariffs.
Well, buy your own unit in.
No.
Even if it's 100% tariff.
Shush! Mr. Cool, sponsor it. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, okay? If I can flex the muscles that I've spent over $100 grand building with this channel to get a free air conditioner, I'm gonna do it. Damn it. But I'm at the point where if I can just transition into a bigger facility and bring all the stuff into one facility, which is what we're going to do. We're going to consolidate into one facility. We'll be able to stream a lot more often in there.
Yeah.
But everything that we have, all of our ACs right now use R410A. And I have a bottle. I have half a bottle. Because I had to use some to refill my AC at the house. I had a technician do it, don't worry. But I have R410A, and that's what most of the stuff uses. We talked about this last episode, I think, of the cool shirt using the chiller from my laser to chill the water in the cool shirt. We talked about this.
That is true.
Yeah, and then I could go very cold, so cold the tube starts to sweat. And you know what happens when a laser tube sweats, Jacob?
No, it blushes.
No, well, it is pink. The laser beam is pink. It goes through a ruby filter, so then it becomes infrared. But it's visible light pink when it's inside of the tube. Since the tube, the kick-on voltage for it is 24,000 volts, it starts to arc to things. And it hurts a lot when you're touching the machine, and it decides that you're a much better path of ground than any other path of ground that it has. So what you do, because you could run the tube hotter, but if you run the tube hotter, you significantly reduce its lifespan. So instead what you do is you coat the entire area that's been arcing in rubberized paint.
Oh, but that's a normal thing to do. That's just potting.
Don't fix the problem.
No, that is fixing the problem. That is like an industrially standardized thing to do, is just get rid of the insulative material and just coat it in something that can't arc.
I mean, fair. And then you just have to listen for the coronal discharges, Because once you can hear the corona, then it's time to go ahead and add another coat next time.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even the relays we use in our printers are potted just in case there's like a lightning strike because we don't want it to arc.
Oh my god.
Like, they
Speaking
just
of
put in
this,
blocks of resin.
we're talking about relays. Oh no, I'm going really off topic right now.
Oh no, what have I done?
Jacob.
I am so sorry, chat. I've hit his neurospicy
Yeah,
this
you
time.
have, because uh this is the first of two dead relays that I've now identified. It's the same relay that keeps dying on my lawnmower. I fixed my lawnmower. I
It's
cut
already killed another.
well, the brand new one that I put on it had failed. So when I replaced it and I turned the deck on, so I have a 0-turn riding mower. It's a Cub Cadet RZT-S for people that want to look it up. It has the worst
Yep.
motor ever made. It's a motor made by Kohler. Do not buy Kohler engines. I don't care if Kohler sponsors us. I will never tell you to buy one of their motors. The mower was having intermittent issues with the blades. It has an electric PTO, so it's an electrically driven, or it's electrically actuated power takeoff unit to drive the blades. It's a 46-inch deck, 2-blade unit. That's why I want to 3D print one blade with a fiber seek 3D with the continuous fiber. That'd be so friggin' dope.
That'll be fine.
I think I know why it's killing relays. I think it's because it's no longer stored in a fully enclosed shed. It's stored on my back porch, which can still get wet. And so I think water's getting into the relays and killing them.
You need to get a can of just like Plasticoat.
See, yes, but see, if it gets into it and the relay can't actuate anymore, it doesn't work. And I'm in the same exact problem.
You own a 3D printing company.
I do.
Print a little cage to go over it and then Plasticoat the entire thing sealed.
To be clear, there's normally a cage that is over this. I dissected this one to learn more about it.
Then just Plasticoat it. It'll be fine. If there's a cage, it won't get in.
I was just going to put a Ziploc bag over it and call it a day. With some hot glue to seal it up.
That is how I was riding a plank of wood at 40 miles an hour and it caught fire. Please do not use Ziploc bags.
It's just surrounded by steel. It's fine.
Don't do it.
It's not jet fuel. We'll be fine.
Don't do it. That's literally how I almost burned myself alive. And that was kind of scary. So for reference, for anyone who doesn't know, before I, let's say, got a proper vehicle, I wanted a motorbike. And if you've ever met my mother, she's a very lovely woman, a little bit overprotective in just the right ways. Like, Jacob, you're not getting a motorbike because you will bloody die in them.
I mean, maybe she's overprotective because you've proven to not be safe.
Well, I didn't prove it then, but I definitely proved it in the coming weeks after she banned me from getting a motorbike. What I got instead was a 40-pound plank of wood from Amazon, which was a longboard. I replaced the shocks on it with just off-road like mountain bike trucks. 3D printed gear chain, 3D printed motor bracket, 3D printed battery mounts. And I strapped 8 kilowatts of motors to a 40-kilo plank of wood plus batteries. I had the same power to weight ratio as an F1 car. It was stupid. It was amazing. It had anti-lock braking, it had indicators, which I never used.
If my child did this too, I mean, I would probably just record them more often, but the first time they hurt themselves, be like, yeah, it's pretty stupid, wasn't it?
But here's my justification. You're on a motorbike, and you need to quickly get off your motorbike. Like, somebody's pulling out and you need to bail. You can't bail on a motorbike that easily. You're straddling it. You know what you're not straddling? A plank of wood. You can just immediately go into a roll. You can jump off. I don't care what happens to the plank of wood. That's that. Now, in retrospect, adding foot straps, which you tie yourself into, does undo the only main benefit of having a plank of wood that can go that fast. So when you inevitably crash, the coroner won't be able to identify you from your foot bones because your ankles will just be missing. But the moral of the story is don't put your very expensive, very volatile lithium polymer, not life, but lithium polymer batteries in Tesco carrier bags and Ziploc bags because they aren't exactly waterproof.
I'm not
They
putting
do have micro
a
pores.
lithium battery in this. Gosh. Moral of the story, don't listen to Jacob for battery advice.
Hey, I can give really good battery advice because I soldered my own batteries together. I spot welded them together. I only caused one small fire,
Only
which is
one.
in my defense, pretty good odds. It was fine. It was great. And I know exactly how to make like quite powerful electric vehicles now. I actually kind of do want to make a land speed record longboard to see how fast I think I can get 60 miles an hour on a plank of wood.
Well, then please get the right armor that you would wear on a motorbike, because and also 60 miles an hour on a plank of wood. We've done that in the States plenty of times. That's no big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
just don't be stupid.
how fast do you think I can make it go if I put 20 horsepower?
Your issue will be drag.
Yeah.
Drag is your issue.
It's 100% going to be the issue because
Mhm.
the only even like the board, I've got a new glass fiber board, so it's got like a recurve across the entire thing. Looks amazing. It angles the wheels outwards, so there's less likely for speed wobble. Downside, you
Oh,
can't turn as easy, but
Camber
it's
Gang.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stance
It's got
Nation out
four
there.
motors, so the moment it
Oh,
starts to
God.
wobble, it's going to start pulsing the power to each motor to cancel
To
wobble.
cancel the wobble.
It's gonna be great. It's got full motor anti-lock braking.
We've helped clients do dumber things. I'm gonna be clear. We've helped clients break. Let's see. We've helped a client break the world speed record for the fastest non-powered human flight horizontal. So obviously Felix Baumgartner, R.I.P., owns the fastest. He's the fastest non-powered man alive, or well, was the fastest non-powered man alive. He's no longer alive. But we helped that. That was with Tony suits. We did leading edges for the arms of a wingsuit to help the person be way more aerodynamic, because when you're doing level flight, you care about your aerodynamics quite a bit more. We've helped a individual break a record for the world's fastest kayak.
Okay.
Yep. Like 30 or 40 horsepower.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's
3D
nice.
printed keel. So he basically took a what are the boards that like ride high out of the water? What are they called?
The hydrofoils.
Yes, yeah. So he took a hydrofoil board and basically connected it to a kayak and put like a very big electric motor on it and sent it, right? It's technically still a kayak. So, yeah, we've done some dumb things, but, you know, we worked with Tony Suits, a company that builds world-class level wingsuits. So, like, the jumper that wore our parts was with us on the entire development process. It's not like this was just some idiot that's never done this before, Jacob. The person that did
I've done it before. I had a pre-prototype that caught fire.
the person that did the kayak, he has a company, or had a company. He sold it now, but back then he had a company that made water pumps. So breaking the record, he used one of his own water pumps to do it. It was a marketing effort. So like, we knew the water pump was going to be safe. That's not an issue at all. That's no big deal. It was super cool though. It's very fast.
That is weird.
You've ever seen a kayak like a foot off the water making a rooster tail like you've never seen before? Yeah, no, it's like.
See, that's the type of stupid stuff I would do. Just straight up.
I told him, I said, I am not warrantying any of this. He said, no, you're not doing anything that's mission critical. He said the carbon tubes are what's mission critical. You're just making stuff more aerodynamic. I'm like, fine. I'm not warrantying that you're not going to kill yourself. He said, I have a good life insurance policy. The wife's aware of it. Like, okay.
Hey,
I mean,
now that I own a business, I have a good life insurance policy, so I can get away with it now.
I don't have a good
I
life insurance
really
policy.
want to make a heavy lift drone just to carry me from my home to the factory. Because driving takes 10 minutes. Flying would take 2.
I'm not going to get into the technical details of this because I don't understand what that's like in the UK versus the US, but it's way easier to do that in the US.
It's not that easy to do it in the
So,
UK.
if you want to talk more off topic about stuff like this, including heavy lift drones and things, you guys can come hang out with us in the after stream hangout, which is in our Discord, available to $10 here and higher. Don't forget to leave a like on the stream, subscribe, and all those things. We have 175 people watching and 64 likes. Yep. Bump those numbers up.
And before we forget, while we're still plugging our things, make sure you subscribe to the new Making Awesome channel.
Yeah.
We are posting very high quality videos there, and our editor is actually doing a bloody fantastic job. I'm so blown away with the quality of these videos. If you like what you see here, but you want it better quality,
a sweetened condensed
more
form,
enjoyable, yes. Just like a juice, it's condensed, so when you drink it straight from the bottle, it just tastes amazing. Go subscribe. You'll love it.
So Nomad, trying to bring us back on topic with the $5, says, while not on the topic of Eligu, would miscrediting a project also be a violation of a license, e.g. Onshape crediting someone else for positron? It would be. Now...
Yes, but no.
So it is. It is. Now, if they correct it, no harm, no foul as far as I'm concerned. If they refuse to correct it, now we've got a violation. So... the way I look at open source violations is like the first one's kind of a warning, right? You know, like if you get pulled over, you going a little fast, the cop's like,
well, it's different.
Slow it down.
Because it depends on the intent. If
well,
it was a mistake, like, oh no, my license plate fell off, that is okay. You get the slap on the wrist. It's a bit of a warning, just change it.
Yeah.
But if you've intentionally taken it off, that's different. That shouldn't get a get out of jail free just because it's your first offense.
So with a miscredit, I generally assume that they just got it wrong. I do not believe that there's a malintent there. Because, like, dude, I've miscredited people on videos before because I just got it wrong. It's a totally normal thing. But I'll issue corrections, right? We will correct videos. If we get something wrong in the podcast, we will correct it later on. Like, we'll correct it in the next episode. Say, hey, last week we talked about this and that. This is what we said. That is wrong. This is right. If it has been brought to the attention of Onshape and they are not fixing it, now we enter into the ticket category where now we have more of a concern. Now we have more of an issue. Nomad says, we had a business relationship with Onshape for a few months before they miscredited us. And then they refused to correct and just took it down and blamed the person they credited. Well, I mean, and the person they credited did specifically credit us. If they took it down and it's gone and it's not up there at all, that is technically also a solution.
Yeah. It's a bit yikes. And
oh, it's yikes for sure, but
hurts.
it is a solution.
Yeah. Bearing in mind, remember, creditations earn the companies nothing. It's probably why Eligu aren't actually putting their finger out to fix this, is it doesn't affect them. It doesn't directly earn the money. It's not part of the, if we change this, it's going to make the printer work or break. It's just part of admin. And admin generally doesn't...
They don't care.
They don't get the highest priority.
No.
Let's say that. Like, if they've only got one guy writing their website and, like, fixing stuff and they need to suddenly credit something, I can promise you that creditation is going to the bottom of the list. And anytime their boss comes in and goes, you need to do something new, it's going one step higher than adding the GPL license.
Well, and like Nomad said, I can still be salty about it. Hell yeah, you could be salty about it. You're more than welcome to be salty about it. I'm still salty about it every time someone's ever done a chargeback with us for BS reasons. We don't always win them, and I will always be salty about it. I don't care for how little money it is. I will always be salty about it. And any time that I drive by where they live or their place of business, I flip them the bird. Why? Because I'm petty, and that's what I like to do. It makes me feel better, and it's my constitutional right to do so. But I think so. I think Eligu's playing the original cards that Bamboo did. So Bamboo, for those that don't remember, Bamboo was in violation of GPL for a long time, and Prusa was the ones that called them out for it. They were in violation for Bamboo Studio, which was basically a cleaned up clone of Prusa Slicer. And Bamboo did a very good job of making Prusa Slicer way easier to use, like way easier to use. Same thing with Maker World, right? They kind of cloned printables. They made it easier to use. I'm not a huge fan of their limiting. I understand that it's a solution. It's just not my personal preference. Prusa called them out for the Prusa Slicer. And Bamboo said, we didn't do this. And Prussia's like, here's the proof. So someone at Bamboo had clicked to send the diagnostic data to Prussia. So Prussia knew they were doing it. And when Bamboo said, we're not doing it, Prussia's like, here's literally the data that proves you are. Stop
But
stealing
for
our product.
reference, even I knew about Bamboo Lab before they went public because they were sending diagnostic data openly.
Well, and that's for Bamboo Studio. Right?
Yes, for Bamboo Studio.
Okay.
Like we saw all of the Bamboo Studio development happen live because they were sending diagnostic data directly to Prusa headquarters the entire time.
And
it was a fumble and a half.
They fixed it. It took a little bit. They argued about it. I'm a little salty about it, but you know, they've
I wouldn't
played
even be a little bit salty. It's massively insulting.
Well, they've played by the rules since. And so while it took them a little bit to learn their lesson, I think they learned their lesson. Right? I want to believe they learned their lesson. So maybe they did. I hope they did. Christopher Elliott with the $5 saying, over halfway to the Super Chat goal. Let's reach the goal today. Hey, that'd be great. Would love to see that happen. Thank you. Dreams Voice says, all right, we need a middle finger on a robot arm that it tied into a geofence so it automatically flips the bird. That's a very expensive project. 3D Print Dude says, how many times are you given the bird a day, Grant? Not very often. I only ever drive by. The most recent person, I only drive by their facility like once a month at best, but it still feels good. Right? John Snare says, my middle name is Salty. No, it's Joseph. With a PH, not an F. Yeah, Joseph is my middle name. Mullet with the 1 gift membership that John Stern got. Thank you very much, Mullet. Greatly appreciated. I think the big thing that Eligu's waiting on is the community to forget about it. Eligu is playing the card of like, our printers are so cheap, no one cares, right? They're playing that game, and I don't like that game. I don't like the game of we're just going to sweat them out until they go away.
Oh, you know what we should do? Let's open a poll. Let's open a poll for the chat. Do you care that the GPL license is getting ignored if the printer costs $300? Like, I don't know how to ask this. Like, would it be if the GPL license wasn't ignored, it might be $400? Or like, are you happy with just like licenses getting the lowest end of the stick just to make machines cheaper?
We'll see if I did this right.
What it's come to.
I just said, you know, do you care about the GPL license violations if the machine is so cheap? I do. Is that going to stop me from buying them? For right now, yes. It will. And if Eligu doesn't release it, then I'm not going to buy it until we have a good crack. If we have a good crack for these machines, or Big Tree Tech, Luke, if you're listening, just give me a Panda Cyborg, but for the Centauri Carbon. Let's just replace the damn brain of it, which probably wouldn't be too difficult. If we have either of those options, then I will go for it, because I now don't have to support the company that's doing the bad things. Yes, they'll get their initial profit from me, but I'm sure there will be a great third-party market for hot ends and things like that for it, so I don't have to support them there. But I'm hoping that Eligu does do something. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the GPL violations. I don't see what the benefit is to the company. I really don't. Right? You've been called out since August about this. It's been an issue since it started, since the machine was released, but they were called out publicly in August. What is the benefit to the company to remain in non-compliance? I don't understand that. That's the problem.
Well, that's also the reason, is what is the downside of remaining in non-compliance? Like, other than us talking about it, in reality, what we've said in this meeting to like with everyone here is, oh, we're really unhappy that they're ignoring a
Yeah,
piece of
open source
paper,
has very
but the
little teeth.
machine is really good.
Right.
And we've basically done shadow marketing for them. And in all honesty, like if you have infinite money, you're not buying their machines.
No.
If you have not infinite money, you're considering their machines because you want a good deal. And if you're looking at a good deal, it's because you're trying to find something that has an output for the amount of money you have, which normally means you're going to ignore little legislar like infractions,
Right.
because it still does what you need. Like a print farm probably doesn't care that they've not done the GPL license,
No.
because they just want to make money and do it that way. Same with buying stuff at home. If like hell, if I'm buying a printer for like a cousin or a nephew or something like that, I'm probably just going to get the cheapest thing that I know
Yeah.
works, even if it inflicts like it ignores the GPL license. Because as
Yep.
much as I hate it, as I'm an industry man and I have to follow the rules,
I don't want to be the tech support person, you know?
yeah, I would also be there going like, well, how much does it matter? Like, if the
Yeah.
printer turns on, works, and is safe, do I actually care if they're following a tiny piece of paper? That means they have to post the code somewhere that I'm never going to touch, and neither is that person.
Yep.
It's hard to talk about because open source does not have teeth. There is no backing. There is no, if you don't do it, you get a slap on the wrist. The slap on the wrist is actually free marketing.
People
Like, hell, we're doing a video about it.
Yeah, is this an any press is good press scenario? Is this an any press is good press scenario? I don't know. We're going to close the poll in just a few minutes. So if you do want to vote, get your votes in and then we'll discuss it. But reading some of the comments here, apparently, you know, it's already been worked on, the boards and the cracking and all of that. You know, and Matt's Maker says, I think you're kind of asking the wrong type of user in this podcast demographic. Well, it's what I got. Okay.
So
I'm working with what I got here.
if we want to work on that, the important thing in the poll was, do you care? Now, saying do you care is not would you still buy.
Yeah,
So there is a bias in the poll.
Yes.
Everybody in this chat probably cares.
No,
but we didn't ask, does it change your purchasing decision?
I will tell you that everyone does not care. We can ask another one of whether or not it changes your purchase decision. That's probably a better way to do it.
Actually, yeah. Would you still buy a?
Yeah. Well, that'll be the next poll. Just type it into our notes so I don't forget it. Doug says, I care, but if they've added any features to the software, then it can benefit everybody else. Oh, I care because if they've added any features to software, then it can benefit everybody else. I agree. Rob Lutter says it was 400 and they actually cared, I'd buy one. Yep, that's fair. There was someone talking about, CDH says it costs so little to comply. You're correct. It does. It costs very, very little to comply. It's a little bit of time and then you just have to update it. It's no big deal after that. Christopher Elliott says, why would not ignoring any open source license add to the final cost? You don't have to pay for the license whether you comply or not. Yep. Defy3D says, I was looking at the Carbon, but I've refused to buy one until they comply. I've also stopped buying any of the filaments and moved to others as a result. I mean, oh, that's something like I just bought Eligu filament.
And?
It was so cheap. It's like sub $10 a kilo.
What's the issue?
It's the same company, right? Do you just not buy the machine or do you not support? Well, you're still supporting the company at the end of the day.
Okay, I'm going to say something really bad that's going to get clipped instantly. I already know it. Why does it matter when we still buy things from 5 big monopolies that control most of the world that are actively like pretty bad? Like if we are getting that anal to it's the same company, why are you doing anything that's supported by most venture capitalist firms when they're funded by BlackRock? Hell, I have stocks in BlackRock because I like money. Come on. But
you're not
arguably,
wrong.
They're also like the most evil company on the entire bloody planet.
No, they are. Not like they are.
Yeah, like if you want anything, BlackRock's involved. And I don't know if this is just me being way too autistic or the fact that I'm just thinking about it weird, but do we actually care if the company that does one mistake also sells something good somewhere else so you don't buy any of them, or the company that is owned by the murder company 9000, the orphan maker themselves, do you still buy from them? Like, at which point do you cross that line? And at which point do you just say it doesn't matter? Like, it
Well,
sucks, but
we've got, I'm going to end the poll. 79% say yes, they do care. 21% says no. We're going to start another poll real quick. Does ignoring GPL change your purchase decision if you were going to buy one? So that I think is probably the more poignant question to be asking. Yeah, and their filament is good. I don't have major issues with it. But yeah, I mean, Illumina Technology says, regardless of the price, whether it's a 50 euro printer or a 5,000 euro one, if you use GPL software, you need to release the source. It's that simple. That's my stance. I completely agree with you. I do. There is this weird... I agree from a business stance, and my personal stance is a little bit different. My personal stance is, if I look at it from a consumer, they don't care. Consumers don't care at all because they don't know. And the ignorance is part of the deal. As a hobbyist and a user, someone that's been in this industry for a while, I care and will not support them.
Yep.
But if I was looking to buy a printer for the first time, the Centauri Carbon presents a huge benefit. And the likelihood of you finding out about these GPL violations before you've given your credit card information is so low that it's like, I don't blame end users for buying them. I don't blame anybody for buying it. If you buy it and you are aware of the GPL violations and you're not going to do what you can to hold the company accountable, then as far as I'm concerned, you're part of the problem too. Love it or hate it, you're part of the problem. Is there a way that we as a community can do something? Sure, we can rise up, we can, put word out. Now, I'm not talking about like a full-on, political boycott like we see these days. But I think it's good for us to, as we're online, as we're seeing people recommend this machine, say, hey, while this machine might be a well-reviewed machine, it might be good on paper, here are the current issues that we have with this, and until Eligu changes their stance and releases their source code to GPL, the way that it should be, we should maybe think twice before recommending the machine. Instead of trying to argue with people on the internet, I'm looking at the people on Reddit and on Facebook and all of that, it is better for us to try to educate in the process, especially if someone is asking, hey, I'm looking for a good first 3D printer. And if you have a budget of sub 500 US dollars, there's not a lot of machines that fit in that price category, right? You've got modern machines being the A1 with the AMS, the A1 Mini, anything from FlashForge. You have quite a few machines from Eligu, but the Centauri Carbon is often up there. And if we just say, oh no, don't go with that machine, no, educate them as to why, and say it might be a great machine, but it's got these GPL violations, and until they solve it, they're actively hurting the community that is keeping them in business. I think that would be a much smarter move, in my opinion.
I think there's also an aspect that it's going to get muddy, and I'm not a philosopher, so this is going to get really muddy really quickly.
Yeah.
But I remember watching a video, I think it was from Abigail Thorne from Philosophy Tube, where she was talking about moral decency in law. Like, what does law require to make it morally decent to follow something versus ethically decent? And one of the things that I took away from, now this was a while ago, so there's probably a lot of like missing bits of the knowledge.
Sure.
But it was, even though there is a rule set in place, in this case, it is follow the GPL license, it is morally okay to ignore something as long as there is no punishment for it. And it was all about how, the way that she put it, it was all about governmental laws and how it's enforced and what makes moral decency. But it was a long short of it was a lot of public decency and public ethics revolves around the fact that if you do something bad, it will be punished by a strong entity that will punish it.
Right.
So it's the same with like stealing. If stealing never gets punished, everyone is going to start
Everyone's going to
stealing because
steal.
there's no
Yep.
recourse. It's kind of the same thing here.
I agree.
Is while we are the ones that are trying to give the punishment of, hey, you need to follow the license, you need to follow the laws, you need to follow all of this. Is it ethically or morally okay for these companies to ignore it because there is no recourse? There is no punishment other than a couple of people on the internet go, ooh, I didn't like that. And at which point do we have to start adding physical punishments to add that hierarchy of legality and ethics to these problems? Because, like, hell, if I wanted to tomorrow, I could literally take down the open source firmware that I use on my printers. And what is going to
Sure.
happen to me? I'm not even going to get sued, and I'm in the UK. Like, nothing will happen to me
Probably
at
not.
all.
No. Yeah,
And
there's not a lot of teeth to GPL because if you want to go after a company for this, you as an individual have to either build a class and go as a class, or you have to have, you know, the financials of a
well, a
large
class
company to
action
go
wouldn't
after it.
work. A
It
class action has to have a negative output to cause the class action. It can't just be they
mm,
didn't do a piece of paperwork. It has to be this issue caused this outcome, and therefore we need remuneration for it.
I'm not a lawyer. Let's just go with that. I'm not a lawyer, but I have been told in the past in videos where we've discussed GPL and open source that there is teeth to it, but it is financially irresponsibly expensive. You must have FU levels of money to go after companies for this, and because of that, it's an issue. Now, Mullet here is bringing up a point. If they break GPL, what else are they breaking? Safety code, warranty rules. GPL is the cheapest to follow. And apparently, these cables on these machines are actually quite fragile. And they're
I
arcing.
I I was gonna say, like, for that pre-warning, there will be bias in this next segment because I run a 3D printer company that does do a lot of safety
Chill.
testing.
Oh,
Bloody nobody cares, but at the end of the day, I do run a company that is in this sector, and I'm now talking about other companies with various things.
right.
Every printer that I have experienced on the market, except for mine, does break the law in one way or another in terms of safety codes.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, just I'm going to list off some. For the printers that I make, I have to follow the machine directive, which requires the multimedia directive. It requires EMI, EMF, and EMC laws. It requires high voltage testing. It requires low voltage testing. It requires flammability testing. It requires general product safety testing. It then got tested under the UL standards and then a load of others. There's about 15 to 20 directives we have to follow that at the bottom of every directive says if you do not follow this, you either have a fine and slash or jail time with that. A
Well,
lot of the companies that I see do not fully do these testing. And the reason for that is it's expensive. It's very expensive to do this testing. Additionally, the designers aren't lawyers.
no.
Like, I had to specifically get someone, in this case, my mother, who sat down and read every single page. There was over like 50,000 pages she had to read to then give me a bullet point list of what I need to follow for the design. It was tedious, long format work. And a lot of these companies will only certify it up to CE. And the problem with CE is it's a
Yeah, it's
self-certification
self-certificate.
for the most part.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got no teeth.
Yep. And even then, legally speaking, you can sign a CE mark and not have done it because the bit that makes CE illegal and finable is malice. You have to knowingly have skipped tests. So in an internal structure, somebody can come up to you and go, hey, we've done these tests, sign this document, and you sign it.
You had no idea
You've
they didn't do
not
it.
broken the law. You've assumed your engineer did it correctly and
Yep.
passed. When it comes to these cheaper machines, while they might be safe, that doesn't mean they are following safety codes or warranty rules or anything else. And I would be highly suspicious of any company that does say they've done all the testing unless they have validation to prove it. Otherwise, you're just kind of lying to yourself, because I have literally seen every product on the market now that I'm in manufacturing does not follow this to the letter. And I even like sit down. I had a therapist sit down with me and I was speaking to them going, am I an idiot?
Yes.
Because I'm
Oh,
following the law. But that as well. They
I don't
actually
think
said
it's worse.
yes. They even
I
turned around and said, I am an idiot for following the
I mean,
letter of the law and the spirit of the law,
I've told you the
because
same
business
thing.
doesn't care about it. You should just go and make a product and make it safe enough not to kill someone and move
I've
on.
told you the same thing, that every other company rolls the dice. Why be different, right? You can certainly, you know, give yourself a few degrees separation from the business so they can't come after your personal assets, release the product under a different LLC so that there's no liability to the manufacturing
Yep.
company. The same thing that American companies do. You just you island out your main company, then you shell it,
Yep.
and it becomes impenetrable without
Hell,
hundreds if not millions of dollars.
literally for £120, I can spool up a shell company that buys my own product, makes a minor change, which is nothing, and then it becomes the shell company's product. And if anything happens, I just shut down the shell company.
That's literally what
That's it.
resellers do. I mean,
That is it.
that's what, like, these Amazon, the companies that have names like the battery company that reached out to us, Cuktech. Yes, Cuktech. They just
Hey,
chose
there's
random
a chair
letters.
in the corner just for you.
Yeah, it's the hotel room chair, battery company. It's like, I like their batteries look kind of cool, but like, I can't keep a straight face and do a video for them. I can't do it. It's not possible for me. So I'm gonna end
Every
the poll.
time you say the name, if you do a video with them, you just have to have like a floating face above you that's just going like, nice, every single time.
So we had 93 votes. 81% said yes. 19% said no. So 19% of people, so call it 15 people, said that ignoring the GPL change does not change whether or not they're purchasing it. So, I would say that we definitely have some people in here that that are more concerned about, does something work than does it follow the letter of the law. Now, it was one of the Clippy people, because the Clippy people are Louis Rossmann people, but one of them said Louis Rossmann would be the person to kind of go after them for it. Yeah, if Louis picks up this and makes a video on it, Eligu's going to get hell for it. But we are a very small channel. We don't have Louis Rossmann levels of credibility, nor do I have Louis Rossmann levels of speech. You all think I speak fast. Go watch one of his videos where he's pissed. They're not
I
sped
watch
up.
his videos at 2 times speed as
No,
well.
no.
So.
Watch them when he's upset. They're not sped up. You can see his cat come into frame, and his cat's moving at regular speed. He just talks very quickly. Louis is, in my opinion, a champion of open source. I do believe, unfortunately, for some companies, he goes about it the wrong way. And not to say that I go about it the right way. Certainly I don't. I'm very similar
We
to
all
Louis.
have egos here, and we also all have non-perfect personalities. It's because we're human.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, look at all the stuff going between like Nexus Gamers and
Oh,
LTT.
yeah. Gamers Nexus,
Like
sir.
Gamers Nexus. I am so bad with names, if you can't tell.
Computer
but Gamers
Jesus.
Nexus and LTT, like Computer Jesus, who is stealing my hairstyle. Yeah, it's not the other way around. It's you're stealing mine.
He is straight hair, for the most part.
No, he's got wavy hair.
Not like yours.
He's got loose lock.
His hair is similar to mine when my hair is long.
I do put in curl activator to make the
curl I don't do shit.
winglier.
Okay, well, fine. But yes, yeah. Louis and Steve from Gamers Nexus, they are open source advocates. They do their best to hold to the letter of the law, and they call out companies when they do wrong. And Louis is at a point with his business, with his YouTube channel, where he can afford to put bounties on things. Anytime that we put bounties on things, I'm paying for it out of my pocket. This YouTube channel is a loss for us. So like when I'm saying, hey, Tip, I think we got another board. I'm very excited. Another A1 board. And it's coming from a country we don't have A1 boards from yet. So this is good. And
we could see if there's regional design
that's
differences.
part of the plan. I have one coming from Norway. Doug, it is in Doug's hands. So that is guaranteed.
That's
He already
pretty
has
cool.
it. It's coming to us. As long as it can obviously get through the flights, which it should be able to.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, we have one coming from Norway, and I've got a good trade for Doug for that. So, but you know, we are gonna do a Gamers Nexus Lewis Rossman style video on all that, where we're spending hundreds and likely thousands of dollars to buy these components, ship them in from people that they're broken, then pay to have them analyzed by experts. We're going to film our own videos with the equipment. We're going to send it off to get examined by experts. And then if it comes back, it comes back. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But the goal is for us to understand. And if I need to do the same thing with the Centauri Carbons cable, fine, I'll do it. Look, I've been in this industry for 17 years. Okay. I've been in this industry longer than some of our fans have been alive. Okay. I've seen house fires from 3D printers. Okay. I've seen the ANET A8. I was around when that printer was popular, when people bought it because it was cheap. And then
I'm
all
a mile
of a sudden,
away from somebody who died to an ANET A8.
Well, you were. You know, I don't want to see us, and the ANET A8 is the perfect example of value engineering gone wrong, right? If the machine wasn't made out of something flammable, it probably wouldn't have burned houses down, but it was.
I mean, even that is a good example of not following the law, because there are laws to stop that from happening.
And what happened to ANET?
Weren't followed. I
Nothing.
don't actually know.
Nothing.
Like, I believe they just continued on like normal.
Yep. Nothing happened. And now this industry is a lot larger. And, you know, back in the day, someone getting harmed or, you know, hurt in an irreparable way by a 3D printer was not that big of a deal because, well, okay, it was a big deal, but it didn't make news because this industry was much, 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 much smaller than it is now. If someone gets injured by a 3D printer in a way that causes damage to life or property in a serious manner, insurance companies are going to rain hell upon anybody with a 3D printer in their house. I don't care what brand it is. I don't care for what reason. And those of you that have renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, your purchases aren't private anymore, guys. Nothing that you do anymore is private.
The UK doesn't even insure most 3D printers at the moment.
But let's say
they are classed as advanced manufacturing tools and dangerous.
But let's say a 3D printer starts a fire and burns your house down. You have no belongings.
Insurance will not pay it.
Yeah. Right now you might get lucky and it does, but there's, I'm sure, plenty of clauses that your insurance company could use. I don't want them to say, if you have a 3D printer and we can check your purchase logs, because there's so many data breaches. If you have a 3D printer, we're going to cancel your policy. That, I mean, you're looking, so insurance plays very much the game of being safe rather than sorry, because they make their money on being safe, right? But that means that they, you know, look, insurance companies are leaving Florida because of hurricanes, okay?
Yeah.
And it's harder and harder and harder to get insurance.
I mean, hell,
don't make this harder.
Like a shill for myself, this is why we got our machines UL tested. Mm-hmm. Because we are one of the only ones where if something goes wrong, which it, touch wood, theoretically isn't possible, but if it did, you can go to your insurance company and go, hey, they've already done all the fire regulation tests as well as the UL tested.
Yeah.
Even if it was this machine, it will not invalidate the insurance because it was done correctly to the law and above that.
And I'm going to be careful. It could invalidate the insurance. Insurance companies suck, so it shouldn't invalidate.
In the UK, it won't, because the UK has a flow chart that they cannot deviate from.
It shouldn't.
America, I've heard your insurance companies can play a bit fast and loose with what they do and don't decide.
Yeah. And Dale said that started with Hurricane Andrew. I know it did. Hurricane Andrew was back in the 80s and 90s. I forget. It was like 86. decimated Miami, like just flattened certain, like Homestead, Miami was just, it ceased to exist overnight. The storm came through, Category 5, absolutely decimated the area. People were living in tent cities for years with FEMA as they were, 92, thank you, as they were trying to repair anything that they could. It was a big problem, right? It was the biggest natural disaster. I think Katrina was the only thing that got higher than Andrew. Yeah. Taras says, Taras, I'm always going to get that wrong, says, you guys are too kind to Bamboo Lab and Eligu. So we kind of have to be. This is something that I wanted to talk about. Thank you for bringing it up. We have to be. So here's the problem. Everybody already thinks that we have crusades against Bamboo. We don't. We just call them out for their bullshit.
Also, it doesn't help they are the biggest player in the industry,
right?
So there's
and
always going to be more drama.
There's going to be people that say,
players.
Well, you know, people are going to always try to defend the multi-million or multi-billion-dollar organization for reasons I don't understand. These companies do not care about you, and they never will. Okay? But we are actively trying to not be the Keemstar of 3D printing, okay? Our goal is to not just, you know, give you the drama update on what's going on. And it's why we're kind of switching our style of, you know, from just calling companies out and, you know, demanding they do something to saying, all right, if you're not going to do something, I will. And as soon as we do it, we're going to do it with professional testing facilities. We're going to pay a bunch of money to get it done. And then, oh yeah, I'm going to bring in every news organization for 3D printing in this as well. So as soon as we have all of our information, they have it too. So the day that we release our video, they release their papers. And we will start to own the SEO under these companies' names. They can pay all day, but they're not going to hide the bad press. And unless they get out in front of it, or they be reactive and they fix it retroactively, right? They fix it they fix it later on. And then we'll make a correct, then we'll come out and say, hey, this worked. They fixed it. But we are not, we shouldn't be. We shouldn't be the channel that has to keep everybody honest. We are too small of a channel to do that. I hope that larger creators join in and help us. There's open invitations to any creator that has access to this kind of stuff, that has a bigger audience than us, obviously, would be great. Smaller creators are fine too, that want to join in and help us. But ultimately, we can't just cover this stuff over and over and over again. It's beating a dead horse, and I don't like it. You know, look, there's not a lot of great things going on in the world right now. Yes, there are things to be very happy about. I'm sure there's things that people are enjoying in their lives, but, you know, if you turn on the news at all, you're just going to be depressed. And the last thing we want to do is provide a similar atmosphere on a YouTube channel. It's not what we're about.
I will say, the best thing that I've done in the last, 5 months, I just stopped looking at the news.
I haven't had cable in over a decade.
Not the internet. The internet's full of news. YouTube shows all the news at the start.
Oh, I just say I'm not interested in it. It goes away.
I've now started actively just ignoring the news and focusing on my little bubble of I want to make cool, nice little machines, and that's it. And I'm not going to get involved because there's too much going on and there's too much to care about for you to actually care about nowadays.
John Stern says Americans should learn that the word crusade is not parsed the same around the world. Yeah, you're fair. You're right. John Stern said Tom Sandlotterer, now made with layers, used to talk a lot about open source or biased news. He did. And recently he has stopped. He has stopped. And I'm going to make an assumption on that is because stopping was better for his wallet.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, to put in perspective, doing this type of news is actively bad in a way that not many people understand. So this is probably like an exclusive inside information of how a business works.
Mm-hmm.
We were literally given advice, do not give machines to Tom. Just straight up. don't give machines to Tom.
Oh, he'd be the one I'd want to give a machine to.
He's the one that I was on the number one at the top of my list
Mhm.
of I want to get a machine to him because he will exactly tell me what he thinks
Yeah.
and it will be great.
It's like
And
jerry
he's
rig everything getting a phone. I'm
yeah.
sure phone companies don't send him stuff to do what he does to it. He has to buy some of them.
And except like when we were setting up, we had several people in the 3D printing industry when we were like trying to ask for like advice of what we should do and how we grow and all of this, literally turn around and said, don't give your machines to these specific YouTubers. There was like 5 of them on the list. And it was like Tom was in that list. And it's because he will tell a community you're not great if you're not great. Now, while we didn't have a risk of that, it was still something that I thought was really not concerning, but it was getting around on the factory side of business is don't trust the YouTubers even though they're doing the right thing.
Yeah,
And that is
I'm sure
hard.
we're
It's
on
a
that
hard thing to
list.
swallow.
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh,
we're on that
definitely.
list now. And it's why we get less and less and less and less companies reaching out to us.
Yeah. Also, Tom, if you're watching, you can always have a machine from us. Just send us an email and we'll sort something out. I
Yeah.
love your content. Like, I
But
don't want to make this little story about don't give a machine to you, meaning we're not going to give a machine to you.
right.
I actively like you as a personality on YouTube and how you do your stuff.
Yeah, and even Tom's given up. I mean, he's said pretty much the same thing that he had a whole video about Bamboo winning, and that video was more of like, it's not that Bamboo was winning, it's that he was losing, and he needs to change the way that he produces content to be more of what gets views, right? And
I mean, hell, we've got live knowledge about that with the new Go Subscribe to It Making Awesome channel, where it's higher quality than we're doing now,
oh
but
yeah,
the algorithm isn't picking it up very well.
no.
And that's because we are kind of talking about a niche of a
Well,
niche of niche problems in a niche industry.
it's also like
And
10 weeks
therefore,
behind.
I don't really mind about that. I like temporal stuff is kind of iffy,
Mm-hmm.
but the numbers should be much higher for the quality of the video. And it shows the scale of our industry. It's not that big. And if you don't change how you're doing stuff, YouTube isn't going to be the right place to grow the content. It is a good place to document content, no matter what. Because if you've got 1 view or if you've got 1 million views, your content is still there. But if you're going for success, your viewership is important. And if you don't change after you're getting your feedback from YouTube going, hey, your viewership is down, it's a death spiral.
Yep. And you know what's funny? We are actively not following what YouTube tells us to do. See, I know that the secret to us making a really successful video is me yelling at a company. Every time. You get me pissed off at a company, 10,000 view minimum video. 100,000 if it's Bamboo. I can guarantee 50,000 views on a video about Bamboo when I'm mad at them. Guaranteed. Because that's what people want. They want that drama. That's what pulls them in. And I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life. I am happy to get upset at companies that deserve it and for the right reasons. I'm not happy to falsify my own emotions. That's not the kind of channel that we are. And the same way, we are never going to temper any content whatsoever because a company might not work with us again. Release a good product or get embarrassed. Choose one or the other. I don't give a shit. But there's a reason that we're planning something right now that I have a meeting for in 6 hours. I'm not going to say what it is, but I have a meeting for it in 6 hours. And it's going to be a big deal, assuming it goes well. We'll see if the meeting goes well. But this is a company that believes in what we do and how we do it. Believes in us. They don't care about the numbers. They care about what we do.
It's hard with YouTube because YouTube is not a place that actually cares about morals. They care
No.
about viewership.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, as probably all the viewers here already know, so we're probably preaching to a choir,
Likely.
is Construct 3D, which is basically like my mentality as a company is all about doing the right thing. Grant is all about doing the right thing. And those type of things are actively not the best decision for YouTube.
It's terrible for
Because
business.
YouTube just wants drama or excitement or both and nothing else. And even like me being here on the channel, I don't see this as a profitable venture for my business, which is what I should really be focusing on, is making money for my business. What I see this as is a way to show the ethos of the brand that goes behind what I do, even if it means that I am burning money. And as a marketing person will tell you, that's a good thing. You are buying mind share, hate that term,
It's a
with
terrible
the
term.
time that I'm spending here, because people will now know me as the I care person.
Yep.
Like, I am the face of safety. That is what I like. It's not good for YouTube.
No.
It's like Grant being here and telling you, like, hey, GPL is good, but we should follow it and all that. It's not good for his channel. Like, he should be doing Mr. Beast level stuff if he wants to grow rapidly and sensationalize everything. And we don't do that because we value our morals more than, actually, I shouldn't say morals, it's ethics. We value our
It's morals
personal
and
ethics.
It's a bit of both. You know,
But either way, we value that more heavily than success. And that is both a good thing and a bad thing.
This one's a bit of like personal advice for people, but it works out in business too. You know, they say a good relationship is 50-50, right? And a lot of people say a good relationship is 50-50. No, that's terrible. Good relationship is 100-100. Each person is giving 100%. Each company is giving 100%. And when we see companies dropping below what I think is a reasonable level, right? We're not asking a lot here out of Eligu. We're simply not asking a lot. What are we asking? Follow the rules. The rules that you agreed to when you integrated Clipper to some level into your firmware. You agreed to those rules. You weren't, this isn't new for you. This isn't a surprise, and your company has benefited heavily and likely only exists because of open source. We're not asking a lot here. This is not like we're asking you to run an ultra marathon. We're asking you to upload the code, the thing that you should have done. Right? This, and the fact that the company is just dodging it and refusing to do it, that's the thing that pisses me off. If they were accidentally in non-compliance and they upload it within a week of you asking, great, problem solved, and they'd get a video showing that they're good. But instead, they don't. It's funny. We were initially on the reviewer list for the Centauri Carbon. When they asked us to make a certain type of video, and I don't want to go into it because I'm not here to just flame companies, I said, we're done. If you want us to show the printer, by all means. If you are paying us to compare your printer to another brand, that's not how this works. A third-party company can pay us, right? If there's a random company that wants to sponsor the video where we compare these two brands of printers that they don't have any share of either of them, great. But you're never going to compare a Centauri Carbon to another really well-known brand and take money from Eligu to do it. That's bad for business. Now it's good for YouTube. And so, you know, we've talked about it plenty of times, and this is not like some pity party, to be clear. Our YouTube channel, on average, costs between $2,500 and $3,500 a month to run. And now with the new editors, it's much closer to $3,500. Between all the income streams that we have for YouTube, and that's YouTube, PayPal, Patreon, that's the channel members, the donations, and all that, we average about $1,800 to $2,200 a month. Now we're entering into Q4. Q4 is the only time of the year where we're ever profitable. Traditionally. I don't know if it's going to be like that this year, but Q4 is normally when we're profitable. We hemorrhage money every single month, and I work my ass off here at the shop to make sure that we can afford to make these videos. And the reason that I do that is because we are unwilling to even get close to the moral or ethical line when it comes to working with brands. It's not worth it. The money is not worth giving it up. Yeah, John Stern, the Cheaty Q4. Oh, is that the Cheaty Q4? No. So, Cheaty was supposed to send me their latest machine. They have gone silent. Nobody is returning my emails. Nobody. They promised me in writing that I would be in the beta group for their next machine, which would have been the Q2. We're not. Why is that? Probably because I called them out. And if that's the difference, so be it. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. But the same way that we had a random marketing agency reach out to us 3 separate times to review a company's machines. This company happened to have a USA-based phone number. So I called them. I said, hey, are you aware that such and such marketing group is sending out emails on your behalf trying to get reviewers for your products? And they said, let me check. Yes, we have contacted them. I said, awesome. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be a waste of my time nor a waste of yours. And we got to talking. And so he's like, yeah, if you don't mind, copy me in the emails you send back. This marketing agency replied back to me saying, hey, we don't need to copy the USA counterparts. They're aware of it. And I'm like, nope, they requested it. Sorry, they're staying in this. And I think that the marketing agency's like concerned that like we're copying the USA counterpart for a bad reason. And I'm not. But it goes to show that putting in just a little bit of effort to verify that everything's legit makes your life so much easier, in my opinion. Right? Soundspark saying, and yet many tubers are quick to sell their souls to NordVPN. Yep. VPN specifically, I will be very, very stringent on. They must pass every one of my checks, including, they say F you to warrants. They're in countries that, don't allow, searches and see. They have to be in like neutral countries and that don't have a history of providing data to the cops. Because otherwise you're not a VPN service. You're just not, it's not.
And
the way
then
it
Grant
goes.
wonders why we get no sponsors for this video.
We do actually, and Jacob knows, we have an interested party to sponsor the show. And I think I
wasn't going to say that. I thought you wanted to keep it silent, and then you're just like, boom.
I'm not going to say who it is, but I think I actually have a really good solution for them. And I think
we all know
really
who
well.
it is. It's Construct 3D. It's me, obviously.
Well, yeah, they're business class 3D printers for business class solutions. You can check them out at construct-3d.com, where you can look at potentially, soon TM, the Construct 2, which will eventually have an opportunity for a lights out production unit, which will allow you to run your machines without having to wake up in the middle of the night 6 different times, because your machine can flow over 69 nice cubic millimeters per second of filament. And so you're burning through kilos fast and you can put them on the freaking reels. So you just have a lights out production unit that just grabs the next roll and the next roll and the next roll and the next roll, so that you can go back to doing what you're good at, which is getting more work for the machine. Check them out, construct-3d.com. Links are in the description down below.
And obviously, if you need help getting your printer up and running, hey, look at that segue. If you need help getting that printer up and running, or need a design to put on that printer, 3dmusketeers.com is the place to go, where they will help you go from 3D scanning all the way to modeling, CAD design, consultation, and of course, 3D printing on themselves. So you don't even have to buy one of my machines. Please buy one of my machines. But you don't have to buy one of my machines, because you can use their machines. So that's 3dmusketeers.com.
And see, maybe we'll get some Construct 3D machines so you can use his machines through our service.
Ooh.
There you go. There you go. And then, yeah, don't forget to leave a like, get subscribed, all those things. 96 likes, 165 watching.
And make sure you get subscribed to the new channel. Please do
Yes.
it. This is not like me asking. This is a demand. Your children are at stake.
It's funny, that channel has so few subscribers, I can actually see how many subscribed today. Okay, it does work. All right, you telling people to subscribe
Yeah.
actually does work.
Oh
That
yeah.
channel has 11 new subscribers today, which, to be clear,
Yes.
it's at 143. It had 132. So almost a 10% gain in subscribers.
Me shilling, 10% increase.
It
Let's
works.
go.
It works. Um, so, yeah, check them out. And we would love your guys' honest feedback on those episodes, on those short form videos. We'd love to know what your thoughts are and how we can make them better. So, Mad Cat says, damn it, 4 seconds. Keep it losing my mouth. Printed Trucker says, with a P1S footprint and work in a semi. Probably not.
Madcat, if you're losing your mouse quite often, there's an accessibility mode in Windows. It's for old people. My dad hates it, but you can press control in like both controls and it'll ping the screen where your mouse is. It's really handy when you have more than 6 monitors. So I used one that had 10
You have
monitors
so many
once.
monitors.
You're just there, like, slap that button every time and look around for the little ping to show up. It was great.
So I think we've kind of covered the Eligu thing. Well, you know what? We know there are some bad actors, right? We know there are some bad actors as well. Anycubic falls into the same category. They're running the same boards, so they're in the same category. Chi2 Box, that's been around for a while. That's
basically
not gonna
any
change.
resin printer that uses a Chi2 style
Yeah.
motherboard. It's not doing it.
Nope. And then Creality in the past. And a lot of companies that use Marlin based firmware are not publishing it at all. John Surd, bad actors.
Hey.
What like Nicolas Cage?
You take that back. You take that back.
Mm.
Nicolas Cage is a national treasure.
I'm clipping that because that's too funny of a joke. I hate you for that. Now, free the code.lol. They also have a list of companies that are good for GPL licenses. So, Prusa, Lils, I don't even know who that is. Creality, Ultimaker, BCN, which Jacob put RIP on, but they're back. Rat Rig, Soval, Snapmaker, and then Jacob added his own company on there, so I'm not certain that, you know, it's not on the website, but it should be. But there are companies like Snapmaker was originally not operating in open source. They were called out for it, and they fixed it. Boom. And look at that. They're on the nice list. They're not getting coal for Christmas. But you know, if you happen to know the guys at Diamondback, getting coal for Christmas is pretty good. That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because wait a minute, Jacob, you're a shining star. Is it on this album? I don't know if it is. Is Shining Star on this album? Now it's gonna bother me. I don't know what Earth, Wind, and Fire album has Shining Star on it. Oh no. I have so many of them. No,
In before
not
he
that
actually
one.
found it already, but is just pulling these out constantly just to just
These aren't all the
flex
ones
on
that I
all of
have,
us.
to be clear. No.
Yeah, you're definitely not doing this just to flex on us.
I have more than this. No. Wait, this one's still in its packaging. No. Damn it, I might not have it in my hands. Nope. That's a split bind. Where's the set list for this? Fine. No, that's a good song though. I'll write a song for you. Serpentine Fire, another good song, but not the one I was looking for. And yes, I know how to hold a record correctly. Don't at me for not holding a record correctly, jerks. No, all the ones that I just quickly grabbed for the show today. When I say me, I mean Amber grabbed it for me because I was running late. Do not have Shining Star on it. I'm sorry. But I have most of their albums. This is probably my favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire album, to be honest. That's got In the Stone, Can't Let Go, After Love Is Gone, Let Your Feelings Show, Boogie Wonderland, Star, Wait, Rock That, and You and I. All phenomenal Earth, Wind, and Fire songs. But, yeah. Anyways, as you might say, Jacob, that's the way of the world. That's the title of this one. It's called That's the Way of the World. Another great.
I knew that. Thank you. I might be young blood, but I'm not that young blood.
Yeah.
Also, my dad had really good music taste. So.
Oh, literally, it's on this one. Shining Star is literally on this one. It's the first track on this album. Yeah. Yep, I have it. There you go. Doug said that's the way of the world. It's the album you're looking at. This is a great one, too. On this one is Shining Star, That's the Way of the World, Happy Feeling, All About Love, Yearnin', Learnin', Reasons. Great song, Reasons. Africano and See the Light. This is back when music gave a shit. Damn it.
There's a reason 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, not really 90s actually, to be fair, is my like top 3 playlists on Spotify.
Oh, you gotta get that Earth, Wind, Fire in there.
You gotta. It is so
Randy
good.
Parker says Grant is probably too young for Earth, Wind, Fire. I will have you know that the majority... Shut up, Jacob. I will have you know that the majority of the live concerts that I have been to have been Earth, Wind, and Fire. Thank you very much. I absolutely love this band. I have pretty much every one of their albums. Any time that I can see them live and my schedule fits and it's affordable, I go and watch them because it is awesome. And I don't care if none of the original members are still alive. I don't think any of them are still alive. I absolutely love their music. You are wrong, good sir. I was raised on Earth, Wind, and Fire, Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder, Al Green, the Commodores, the Temptations, all the good stuff. Damn it.
And then there's just me
hold on
to Sabaton in the UK. And
this,
I'm really
this,
gutted by that.
this once again lets me put in the shop.3dmusketeers.com/promo/09212025 EWF day for 21% off of our merch store through the end of the day. I will kill that code at the end of the day, just to be clear. But yeah, sorry, I am all over the place.
Couldn't tell.
See, oh yeah, Mad Cat tagged me in a thing in the Discord. And yes, I am 30-ish. I'm 35. I was born in 1990. Is our Earth, Wind, and Fire guy going to do something? He normally does something every year. I think he said he was going to retire, and then he didn't. I don't know. There was a guy on YouTube that does an Earth, Wind, and Fire video every year. But yeah, there are a lot of companies that do it right. There's a few that do it wrong. And I think that as users, as people with voices, it is our duty to make sure that we keep them honest where at all possible.
Keep them on the straight. Like,
and remind them,
has to, even if it does nothing and it's screaming into a void, at least we can scream into a void and feel slightly better about it.
And remind them that compliance doesn't really cost anything and gets rid of all this bad press. Just saying. So, there's some other big 3D printing news this week. Since you mentioned it to me when we were chatting.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Go with it.
Okay, so we are finally in the mainstream era of 3D printing.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say this is the defining moment that 3D printing has hit mainstream. Because Apple, of all companies, has 3D printed the USB-C port on their phone.
The iPhone Air.
The iPhone 17 Air or the iPhone Air. I do not know their naming convention scheme. It's terrible.
It's so thin that they couldn't use an off-the-shelf USB-C plug for it. To get USB 2 speeds, they were required to 3D print it out of titanium.
Also, I will say, we can ignore the USB 2 speeds. That's just an Apple thing. They don't like you going faster than that.
My 5-year-old Samsung Galaxy S20 FE, the last Samsung with expandable storage, actual expandable storage, can do USB 3, and I think it's 5 gig.
Yeah. In all fairness, actually, I don't know why I'm calling all fairness. Actually, screw you, Apple. The Lightning connector, which is what I showed the camera, don't murder me, is USB 2 speeds. The USB-C connectors on the iPhones are USB 2 speeds. So the new flat USB 2 to like USB-C, whatever, the 3D printed one, is also USB 2 speeds. I think that's just Apple deciding they had a speed and they want to keep it.
Yeah. Well,
but that doesn't matter. This is really cool.
It's 3D printed
having
metal.
a 3D printed out of metal, which, bearing in mind, is a more difficult process
It is.
than any of the other processes, because you have to plane the beds, you
Most
have to
of them.
like clean them up, you have to
It's a
like
laborious
pack the dense
process.
parts. It is not the straightforward process that a lot of people are used to, especially in this industry.
Not even close.
So the fact that they're doing this at massive scale, this is not, oh, they're making like 500 a month type thing. This is Apple making a brand new product launch around this technology, and they need throughput. This is insanely mainstream. Like, ignore Adidas and Nike, or Nike, don't care how
it's
you pronounce it.
Adidas and Nike.
Don't care. Your shoe brands are terrible anyway. The point being, they do 3D printed shoes, or at least 3D printed half shoes. That was like, oh, this is cool. This is becoming mainstream. Not really. Shoes are still quite niche for certain markets, and 3D printing is still not massive in everything. Apple, the biggest player for phones, making a 3D printed component in their mainline phone is
$1,000 phone.
Now, bear in mind, Apple already did 3D printing. They 3D print, I believe it's the Pro Watch. I can't remember the name of it. Their Elite or their Ultra Watch.
Oh, they're big.
Their frame is titanium 3D printed because of the tolerances required to make it work. That is insane.
And like
just straight up insane.
If Apple could have done it via traditional manufacturing, they would have. Because any time that you can save fractions of a penny, it adds up into real money on the bottom line, right? It absolutely does. Yep. They must have ran tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of testing and research, and determined that 3D printed titanium was not only the most cost effective, but was the best fit solution for this problem.
Yep.
You have to look at it and say, damn, that's pretty cool.
It really is.
And I think it's more of just the tolerances and how thin you could make a metal titanium 3D printed object. And because even the cheap titanium 3D printers are like 6 or 8 inch cubes.
Hell, I don't even know if it's titanium they're making.
It is.
It could be stainless steel.
I am almost positive it is TI-64 titanium.
I know the watch is titanium.
Titanium is...
I don't know if the USB-C is stainless or whatever.
I believe it's titanium, because titanium is one of the easier metals to 3D print. It doesn't get as complainy as like the steels do because
like the issue with aluminium, which is why it's definitely not aluminium, is the spot size of the laser is quite big for aluminium, because what happens is the aluminium, when it welds, it kind of sticks to the powder next to it, whereas like a titanium steel doesn't get that. Cool.
They're even using it in their marketing. I've just pulled it up from Apple's newsroom.
Post that in the chat.
Yeah,
Post the link in the chat.
Sure, I'll put that in the chat. There you go. Yeah, I mean, they're using 3D printed titanium. Is that going to be a big selling feature? No, it's not. But it was one of those things where to get the iPhone Air as thin as it is, and it's, for an iPhone, it's really thin, but it's got a ridiculous camera bump. Like, honestly, you tell me your phone is very thin, but I'm measuring thickness at the thickest point. I'm not measuring at the thinnest point, okay?
Okay, I am actually going to argue. I really am on board with this. I don't like the name, the plateau. I do like, however, that the bit you hold is thinner than the bit you don't hold, which is thicker.
I'm going to put a case on it anyways.
From an ergonomic point of design, like, I kind of like it.
I'm putting a case on it anyways. It's going to add a bunch of thickness to it, and I don't care. Now, really, the thing I like most about the newest iPhone is timecode and, like, using them for filming. They're finally, like, releasing things for filmmakers, and I'm like, damn it, I really want to get this new phone. I can get a Sony FX30 for the same price used as a new iPhone Pro Max, because it's the one I would need to get, because it's USB.
I still think the biggest upgrade has been the cameras. Like,
Their
the
cameras are always great.
front-facing camera is now insanely good with a square sensor, so you can actually use it. Whereas previously it was kind of you don't really want to use the front-facing like 12 megapixel camera.
I'm
I think it's like,
fairly
is
certain
it?
my phone is a square front-facing sensor.
Yeah, look, come on, it's Apple. They're behind on everything. I'm not saying they've invented the square camera sensor, but
But it's hip
having
to
a
be square.
24 megapixel like front-facing camera is quite nice. And having those 48 megapixel and then bin down to 24 megapixel rear-facing cameras is actually quite nice. Like if I had that phone, I wouldn't be too worried about carrying a DSLR with me at all times. Whereas with my current phone, which bearing in mind, I'm going to date myself now, it's an iPhone 11. I just replaced the screen on it because I have no reason to upgrade it. I have a DSLR, but
Let's see.
I've
Would I
the
rather?
new iPhone looks good.
Would I rather shoot with this Sony A6500 with a Sigma 16 f1.4 with a sensor on it that is massive, or would I rather use a tiny little camera sensor? I know which one
Okay,
I'm going with every single day of the week. Now,
I
this doesn't fit in my
can
pocket very
argue
well.
small
This
camera
does.
sensors have a place.
Of
And it's
course. It's
because you don't
portability.
get very well, it's also depth of field. The smaller the sensor, the less depth of field, so you can get sharper images if there's enough light. The post-processing, at least on Apple side, is fairly decent, so you can get usable things very quickly. Portability is quite huge. But in reality, what I want to do if I got a new iPhone is I am strapping my phone on top of the DSLR and I'm going to be dual filming the entire time. So I can have the nice main shooter
Yep.
cropped in at someone's face and then have the ultra wide going at the same time for location tracking, because seeing more means you get tracking points better, but also for reframing. So if I need to do anything weird with all the camera sensors, I can.
We're going to start. So I have a bunch of the Gen 1 DJI Osmo Pockets. We're going to start doing one at a 90-degree angle so it does more vertical content, and potentially one at horizontal so it's a second kind of thing. But this does such a good job. This lens is part of the Holy Sigma Trinity. It's the 16, the 35, and the 50. Those are the three lenses that you generate, like the primes, that you'd be looking for. And the f1.4 is really nice. It's a compact lens. I love it. You can find them used for $200 to $300 for the lens. 6500, it's a fine camera. I don't hate it. I did not pay a ton of money for it. That's why I have it. But, certainly you can get a lot of value out of cell phones these days. So,
Yeah. Like, especially with the processing side. Now, this is the big
oh
thing.
God,
Small
yes.
sensors need higher processing. Now that the processors are getting really bloody good, phone sensors are, I would argue, fighting toe for toe with bigger DSLRs. Hell,
So,
the new 28 years later film was all on iPhones.
you're you're
It was
you're gonna
all on
find this
iPhones.
interesting. It's like I was looking to buy an Atomos Ninja. They now have a Ninja Mobile that uses an iPhone with iOS 18 or later. You generally want a USB-C iPhone for this,
Yep.
and it uses it as a screen, right?
So, the new
Hold on,
Samsung
hold
S1
on.
Mark II does that.
Well, you can't do that with Android phones with Atomos, but what it also does is you can use that phone not only as a field monitor, go live, instantly go live right from it.
Really?
So you need
That's
no
cool.
other equipment. You can use your cellular or Wi-Fi connection to go live right from your monitor. I'm like,
Oh, that's kind of hot.
damn. And it's like 200 or $300. It was
That's
not
kind of
expensive,
hot.
but I'm not on iPhone. If I was on iPhone, I would seriously consider it over just getting the Atomos uh, Ninja
I
V
mean,
that I got.
hell, I'm really tempted. So you already know because in the Discord I've been messaging you like at least once a month about the Lumix
Yeah, you want the new
S1 Mark
Lumix.
II.
It's
They
not.
also, if I got a new iPhone, I can just plug in the phone into the USB-C port of the camera and use it as a field monitor. And no matter what anyone says, the iPhone screen technology
It's
is
very
still
good.
one of the best.
I've
Like you can
got
use
a
it as
spare
color
field monitor.
calibrated.
Do you want it? I'll send it
I've
back
got
in
an
time.
iPad. I actually want to
Okay.
kind of set up the iPad as a field monitor, though this is probably like the most first world problem that you're ever going to hear from me. I'm having to start doing exercises, like literal like push-ups and back
Oh, to hold
exercises.
the
So I can hold the
yeah,
camera with an iPad strapped to it. Because
it is
bloody
heavy.
hell, it's heavy.
Yep, it is heavy. Yeah, so 3D Printopia, we might be running the Atomos setup, although we might still be running the Feel World setup. The Atomos setup is for a different big thing that we're working on that I'm not talking about. Um, if it shows up and I get all my accessories before then, great, I'll use it. If not, don't care. It's fine. But yeah, I think it's really cool to see Apple utilizing 3D printing in an iPhone, right? Um, I think it kind of instantly validates the tech that's out there and is a great way when someone says, well, I don't really know of anything that's 3D printed. The iPhone Air, its USB port is 3D printed in titanium. There you go. Like, that's the easy thing. You know, oh, 3D printing is just dragons and tchotchke BS. No,
No,
here are the
the big
options.
is Apple still the biggest company in the world?
I have
Or is
no
it
clue.
Nvidia?
I have no clue. No, this is Patrick. I'm sorry, I am required to say that. Amber has got me watching SpongeBob now.
Uh oh no, Apple is now the third biggest company in the world.
Look,
But the point being,
if you're on the
the
top
third
100, you're
biggest
fine.
company in the world has decided to 3D print.
Yeah, Nvidia is the biggest
That
company.
is,
That makes sense.
yeah, to be fair, Nvidia have 99% of my stocks and shares have all been carried by Nvidia. It doesn't matter how red any of the others get. Nvidia just keeps going up. It's definitely not a bubble, guys. It's definitely not a bubble.
And I don't care that Red partnered with Nikon. I'm not buying a Nikon.
I'm not buying an icon.
I'm sorry. I am ingrained in the Sony ecosystem. That's the way it's going to stay. I've got way too much money invested in the Sony ecosystem. I would love to buy a ZVE10 2. That's the next upgrade, like, path for us away from the 6500 is the E10 2. I think that's
See,
where we're going to move.
I want to win the lottery just so I can force you to move over to Lumix because they are so good. They are actually so good. They are
Nikon bought
scarily
Red.
good.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Nikon bought Red.
Oh, well, I'm still not buying one.
Yeah, no. Christopher Elliott says, that little USB port must be a tiny port. How can you fit into an 8-inch cube? How many can you fit into an 8-inch cube of powdered titanium? Traditionally, with titanium parts, you don't want to stack because you have to grind them. So you would just do one layer. I would guess that you could do 1,000. At least
Yeah.
500 of them.
The challenge won't be making one or stacking them. It's how you take them off the puck.
Mm-hmm.
It's how do you separate each individual one.
Oh, MLV says the E10-2 overheats pretty bad. Ours does too, and I can't put a fan on it. There's no like fan that I found that fits it. And upset about it. But yeah, ours does too. That's like a current issue and why I'm looking at the Atomos Ninja. So in the event that our main camera starts to overheat from recording, it doesn't overheat when it's just idling. Like, I'm using a Sony RX100 Gen 3 as my camera is a Sony RX100 Gen 3. It's outputting clean HDMI. Great. Put that into the Atomos. Put that into something else. Now I don't have to worry about the 29-minute limit anymore, which I'm very, very excited about. So, I don't know. I am slowly trying to upgrade and update the work that we do, but at the same time, I'm also trying to do it on a budget because it all has to come out of my personal pocket to do it. So it's like, oh, I want to, but I have to be very, very, very careful. So, Alex, the Nocturnist, giving 10 memberships. Thank you very much, sir, for contributing to the ad-free streams that go on here. Randy Parker got one. Johan got one. Duff got one. Jimmy the Dude Johansson got one. Winslow Joy got one. John O got one. Kenneth Wadiska, Rexit, Matthias Shore, and Adam. Editor Adam got a membership.
That's hilarious. Okay, editor Adam,
That's so
you can
funny.
now join the Discord.
Editor Adam is in the Discord. But that's just funny that Editor Adam was the last one.
I'm waiting for my name to show up randomly.
Random is as random does. Yep, that's true. I wish there was a way to like say, oh, these people work with us. Don't give them free don't give them memberships. We don't want that.
Maybe it's mod. give them mod?
No,
Can you be a member with mod?
Duff got one. Duff's a mod.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I don't know either. But thank
Why
you,
haven't
thank
I
you.
got one yet?
They won the RNGesus roll. Jesus. Uh, so I made a mistake this week.
What did you do?
And it's like I haven't made this mistake in a long time. I was reheating some beef brisket for pho. We made beef pho like a week and a half ago. I was eating some leftovers this week. And I put it in the microwave. No big deal. There was so much fat on it, it exploded in my microwave. And just, oh, it was so bad. I haven't
Did you
made.
forget to turn the dial down to like medium to low?
I don't have that option. If I do, I don't know how to find it. But, dude, it's like someone threw a hand grenade into my microwave. It took so. I was so mad. It took me so long to clean that up. I was so mad about it. It's nothing I can do now. Amber's like, why did you put a towel on it? I'm like, I haven't needed to do that in so long. She's like, you haven't heated up anything with this much fat in it. I'm like, well, too late now. So that was my funny fail of the week.
Oh.
Got the mower running. I am so sore, and I still have a third of the yard to run. So I'll do that after the after show, because.
Oh,
Oh
do you
man,
want to know my almost colossal mistake of the week was? This could have actually destroyed the launch of C2. It was that bad.
Oh no.
This is a bad mistake. So I have to turn the virtual background off for this. There you go. It's now sharp. I made gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
It's pretty.
Couscous and meatballs.
A
So it
dish
was
so
like
nice they named it twice.
It was so nice. So I made the couscous with now somebody in the chat is going to flame me for this because it was with chicken stock, but it was a chicken stock couscous, and then I did beef stock.
Why would this?
With meatballs?
I'm like trying to see how this would hurt C2.
Chicken and beef stock.
I'm trying to see why this would hurt C2.
I'm getting there. It was with a pureed and grated tomato passata sauce. Meatballs go in. Put a bit of like. I don't even know what the spice mix is called, but it's basically Mexican-inspired spice mix, which I just add to the meatballs, just give them a bit more flavor. It was delicious, fresh parsley on the top. Problem is, I was playing food poisoning roulette, where I don't like food waste. That's my personal.
I'm the same way. I don't like food waste.
I just did DSEI trade show, and I had a week worth of food I need to eat. And it was already a week out of date. So it's like 10 days out of date beef
That's
mince.
too far, especially for
10
proteins.
Days out of date beef
no,
mince.
No.
And I made... It was sketchy. It didn't smell bad, but there was a smell to the meat. And I'm like, it's kind of hitting that borderline. If it smelled any worse, in the bin.
No.
But at the same time, it's vacuum packed meat. So it always like kind of gets a little sweat smell to it anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
But I couldn't tell, is it sweat smell or gone off smell?
Well, you'll know in a few hours.
Fine. I ate this yesterday and I was fine today.
Well, you're not doing the show from your bathroom, so I guess you're all right.
No, it's fine. It's okay, but we get to play roulette a second time because I made 2 portions. And the second portion is in my fridge, which I'm going to eat later tonight. Look, if I got black once, I could get black a second time. Woo! All good gamblers quit before they make it rich. Woo! I'm going to die.
No, so since we're going out of town, like I have to be very careful about like what food that we buy so that I don't end up with like, stuff that goes bad while we're gone. I got to be very, very careful about stuff like that. So it is something that I am like very much keeping in the back of my mind is like, okay, you need to be careful about this. You be careful about this. You have to make sure you take out the trash on Wednesday because, you won't have another time to take it out until you're back. All the different things that, I have to think about when we travel. But We will be at 3D Printopia. At Printed Trucker said Royal Farms fried chicken. We'll never do that in the microwave. Royal Farms is a place that makes fried chicken in Maryland. So we're going to go to that. That'll be fun. And we are going to do a video series, because we're staying for a little bit after the show as well. Creatives in cars getting cheesesteaks.
That's cool.
So we're like an hour from Philly, hour and a half maybe from Philly, and I got a bunch of friends that live in Philly. So we're gonna do, it's like the comedians in cars getting coffee, but it's gonna be creatives in cars getting cheesesteaks. So
I like that.
we're gonna go drive around. We're gonna use GoPros, 360 cameras, and things like that.
I am just loving everyone in the chat.
Yeah, R.I.P.
saying that I
Jacob.
almost died. I put faith in European health standards for their meats.
That's fair. That's fair.
I really shouldn't have,
So
but it was fine.
we're gonna ask people. So like, Nomad's on board. Ellie doesn't know she's on board, but Ellie's going to be on board. If Matt's going to be in town for a while, I'll get Matt on board. Anyone at the Cocoa Press team is going to end up being on board, so we're just going to go steal them and do the shots. In theory, people from Printed Solid, if they happen to live up in that area, we'll steal them too, and we'll do it. I have no idea if this is going to be good or if it's just going to be a really dumb video that gets like no views, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to give like unabashed ratings of these cheesesteak places at the same time while asking difficult questions mid-bite. So as soon as they start to chew and they eat, that's when I'm going to ask the hard questions. And I'm going to pressure them to give me an answer while they're chewing. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a really dumb video idea, but it's something that ever since I've been to Philly and had a really just like rough experience with their cheesesteaks, because for some reason Ellie told me to go to Pat and Gino's and they're not very good, and I'm like, they don't know how to salt and pepper their meat. I've always had like this bit of a, well, saltiness to me, if you will, around the Philly cheesesteak. So each person that we interview will take us to their favorite cheesesteak place. I'm going to pay for it, obviously. That's not a big deal. I'll pay for everything. But that's going to be the deal. And we're going to rate them. And we're going to ask questions. I think it'll be fun.
Bearing in mind, Subway does a Philly cheesesteak as well. It's bad.
We are not going to Subway.
Really bad. It is so
Jacob,
bad.
If I don't get called some basic slur by somebody as I'm walking up, I'm not eating there in Philly. Okay? If I yell, "Go Birds," and someone doesn't try to start flipping a car, it's not a good cheesesteak in Philly. Okay? Like, this is just how this works. Sousaphone, Gabe, you're down too. You're going to be on this. I'm going to make this happen. I'll find a way to get you in this. Bearded Printer with the $10 for the cheesesteak. Fun, thank you. Yeah, anyone that happens to be in like the Philadelphia area or in and around Philly or could meet us in Philly after 3D Printopia, the week after 3D Printopia. I don't know what dates we're going to be doing it, what times or anything like that. But I want to do it. You got to be a creative in the industry, so you got to be, a designer, a maker. You got to give me something cool and fun to talk about with you. Because if you're boring, that's not going to be a lot of fun. So you got to be interesting. I'm not interesting, but I make it work. Or at least, hide the fact that you're boring. I'm boring. It's fine. But anyone that wants to, we're going to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to get fat as a son of a gun, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you, Beard Printer, for the $10 toward the cheesesteak fund. Yeah. Should be fun. I've ever since we were up there last year, and it was a little depressing. Was it last year or the year before that we did the cheesesteaks? It was 2 years ago was the depressing cheesesteaks. Last year, Ellie got the cheesesteaks, and Ellie got them from a different location. I don't remember where it was, but we were supposed to go tour Cocoa Press, but we couldn't. Some things happened, so we ended up just hanging out with Ellie. And that was a lot of fun, though. But yeah, we'll be doing some filming while we're up there. I think it'll be fun. Christopher Elliott says, I'm in the area, but too bored to make good content. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. Even if we just like say, all right, you're gonna show up at this area. I need you, we'll text you, let you know when we're in the area, and I need you just like flag down the car, jump in, and we'll hand you a cheesesteak, right? And it's just like a random fan. That would be fun. I don't know. I am down for whatever level of craziness that we can do for this. Cause why not? Why not have fun? Printed Trucker with the 19.99 for the Royal Farms fried chicken. Thank you, sir. We'll make sure to get some Royal Farms fried chicken on Printed Trucker. Yeah. See, Printed Trucker is someone that we don't always agree. We often don't agree, but he's here because of the ethics and the morals.
Yeah.
And he prints while driving an 18-wheeler. That's pretty cool. Come on.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty metal.
Yeah, I'm all here for it. So thank you for supporting the channel. Greatly appreciated. Anything else going on this week for you? Like what's your plan next Sunday? You don't have a show.
Probably working. So you know what? I could leak announce something because I'm getting really scared because time is moving forward, and I have 40 days, almost on the dot. 40 days until I launch Construct 2 officially. That's the launch window. I've just received all the metal shipment. It came on pallets a couple of days ago. We inspected
it's real.
them. It is real. It's happening. We've got like 3 of the motherboards ready in advance. Like we are doing batch number 0 to -5 because these are pre-batches to test like production steps, to test all of that sort of stuff. We have no website yet. I need to build the printers to make the website for the launch. I then need to do videography. There's
a lot of steps
to do in 40 days.
Yep.
I am petrified because we have at the moment 3 prototypes. We have the one that nobody realized until really recently was the one we bought to Smurf 24, the standalone unit. That was the very first version of the Construct 2. Then we have what's called the Silver Edition, which is a unpainted, brutalized version of the machine where we knew we weren't going to paint it, so we are going to write on the sides. We're going to indelible pen certain areas, say we need to fix this area here, had arrows running to it saying this bolt needs to be this instead of this. Like it looked like a 3D whiteboard because we were writing on it all the time. Then we had the Black Series, which is the one that was in your factory tour. And then the Black Series got destroyed during destructive testing.
Oh, to make on sure purpose. It works. Okay.
50-50. It was like we need to do it anyway and stuff needs to happen. So I'm just going to start treating it very poorly and see what breaks first. And then we just pushed it to the limits and it imploded, which is good. And now we have serial number -6, because the next ones are -5 to 0, which is the one that we just showed off at DSEI to a closed audience to gauge industrial feedback, quality test logs, like basically hearing the biggest part of the industry, what they think.
Right.
Because if they think it's good, it's probably good, and they loved it. So now we're building the first batch, and that's going to somehow include the Lights Out production unit, which isn't finalized yet, in those 40 days. Like we have all of the tech spec locked in. We have all the development locked in. I literally spent, I want to say 20 hours in a 20-hour call with a software engineer called Chris, helping me work through firmware for the Lights Out production unit. But that needs 2 motherboards, 2 separate motherboards to control all of the input output
that's a lot.
Filament system needs.
Yeah,
this is not like your baby's first filament changer where it's just load it in and it does something. It has 2 180-pound motherboards in it. There is a lot of compute going on inside that device.
Yeah.
So that needs to be organized. We're currently working out power regulations because I really want this to stay within the standard US power rating system. So you can just plug it in. 1800 watts. And let's say the first prototype of the heating and power transfer management system came to 5.5 kilowatts. Suboptimal, but
Yeah,
we think we can
not
get it
great.
to one. We think we can get to 1.6 kilowatts with everything turned to 11 if we do it correctly. So we're working on that. Then it's the website, then it's all of this. So I've got 40 days. Oh, not scared. Honestly, it's probably going to be very good. Like the machine performance, we had it running 24/7, 5 days in a row at a trade show, zero failures, zero complications, including people picking the machine up to move it while printing.
That's great.
It was a fantastic test.
That's awesome.
Absolutely fantastic. All of that prototype was not using final hardware. It was using like literally like bolted together scraps that were quality failures, because I'd rather use a quality failure that's more likely to fail
Right.
to show up the issues. And nothing went wrong.
That's
It was
great.
flawless. So I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm excited
I'm
for it too.
so happy.
I think that there's
I'm
a lot
actually
of
kind of more worried about the logistics of getting it to the event site to launch it, because we've never taken so many machines with us that are so big or so heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to start to like hit limits of what cars and shipping companies are willing to do for you
Yeah.
simply because of like XYZ dimensions plus the weight of it.
Yeah. Like the weight's not an issue because I can separate everything into 50-kilo bundles. So that's still two-man liftable. But space, where they're going in, like we struggled fitting 3 machines in a long wheelbase van.
Yep.
With all of the ancillary stuff, the tables, all the power components and all that. This time we're taking a minimum of 3 machines with lights out production units.
So you need to rent a car.
Well, we rent vans. That's how we did it initially. So we might need to rent 2 or 3 vans for the launch event, which is the biggest logistical hurdle we've ever encountered.
It might make. I mean, there's a certain point where it just makes sense to give it to a shipping company and let them move it. Where is how close is the launch event to the factory?
2.5 hours away. It's not bad.
Oh, so it's down in London.
Huge. NEC. But you have to drive slower if you're driving a van, so it takes a bit longer.
Mm.
And knowing me, we're going to be going even slower still because we're going to be petrified.
See, yeah, I'm not worried about the machines. I'm worried about the sudden stop you might have to do in those machines, playing the Newtonian physics game of we're not stopping.
Yeah, we've got custom packaging ready in advance, mostly for shipping, but also for transport. So they will get fully packed. It's not an issue.
Okay.
But I am kind of worried. And one of the things that I still need to do is I need to work out the floor plan for the actual event, because I don't know how big the floor plan is. And one of the things I wanted to bring along with us is the story pieces, which is the one we brought to Smurf. Then it's the Silver Series. Then it's the Broken Black Series with scorch marks on it. And then the final machine. So they can actually see how we developed the machine to the final industrial thing as we launch it. And the launch is currently, now this is not set in stone, but it's kind of set in stone. So it's a very high likelihood of happening. It's currently set for advanced engineering at the NEC. I believe it's the 29th and 30th of October.
Printed Trucker, I'm already on a load, sorry. Dude, how cool would it be when we get these to the US that Printed Trucker could be one of the people that ships them?
That would be so
And
cool.
like hand deliver. Oh, dude, that'd be so dope. Oh, how freaking cool would that be if Printed Trucker was like, I don't know if Printed Trucker's an owner operator or if they or if they work for a specific company, but how freaking cool would that be if like your delivery driver for a C2 pulls up, then they open the door and there's like printers in the truck already too. You're like, this person's not going to yeet it off their truck. I can trust this person. Yeah. One might be missing. I feel that. Yeah. No,
Hey, you never know. There might be one extra just in case. But no, we've got a lot of plans for this launch. We've actually got 3 launch events planned. One is the official unveiling launch. The other is a dedicated industrial launch at Warwick Manufacturing Group, where it's going to be a lot of it's going to be similar to like an NVIDIA keynote, where it's a
Right.
lot of the developer stuff. It's the
Right.
conferencing side, it's all the benefits and everything. It's not just a here's the machine, go and have a look at it like teaser. It will be a here is your return on investment time and why it's 5 times faster in terms of return on investment. This is
Hmm.
why, even though the material costs the same, this part costs £1 an hour, whereas a competitor's machine is £3 an hour. It's that type of event.
Yep.
Very dry, very boring, very exciting for just the right people. We're doing another event at Larkhill, which is the defense
You got a lot of
launch.
stuff going on.
Yeah. The defense launch is going to be in particular around defense attributes of
Oh,
the
cool.
machine. It's going to be all about the data security and the data pipelines. It's going to be about how it's actively being used by certain companies. Now, while I cannot name if we are or are not a supplier, I can say is Rheinmetall have our flyers and are giving them out for us. Make of that what you will. And we've got a couple other prime defense companies already on board as well. Like we've got DSTL, we've got a couple others that I can't mention. We've got Autodesk as well. They
Yeah,
are
you're
on board with this.
you're in Fusion now, right?
Oh yeah, our printers now have a Fusion pre and post slicer in their 3D printing additive side. And when Construct 2 launches, there will also be Construct 2 baked into Fusion 360.
It's just Fusion now.
Baked in. It's just Fusion.
I hate it.
Such a worse name.
Yeah.
Previously, you could search F360 and you get Fusion. Now
Y-
you have to type in Fusion and then you get Fusion, the editing software.
Or, nuclear fusion. Eleanor Rosewood's got a good question for you. How do
Oh,
we
go
get
on.
our bean counters to go to these events? I want one at work already.
Depends. Email us and ask, or we will be doing like publications beforehand to say where we are, how we're doing it, all of this. The ones at Advanced Engineering is just show up and you'll see us. For the other ones, it's invite, semi-invite only. You can just show up, but it's not going to be as massive because it is a closed, like smaller group. Not a lot of people actually care about why a 3D printer is better. And that is what these events are about. Um, but yeah, like straight up, drop us an email or a message. We can put you down for either the military side or not. Eventually, we'll probably film the entire thing and conference call it or make a dedicated YouTube like NVIDIA keynote style video about the machines because we are going to the balls to the wall with the marketing on this.
Well, you
Like
have to.
it's not gonna be like bamboo level marketing. I'm gonna say
Well,
that
no,
now.
you
It's
don't
gonna
have bamboo
be
level money.
it's Construct 3D level marketing where it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot more scientific. It's gonna be hopefully well produced and released eventually on our YouTube channel probably, which has zero videos but still has like 100 subscribers. So you guys are weird. Please subscribe. Um, but yeah, if you want to be in the know, just send us a message. We will be eventually sending out social media notifications to anybody who's interested. This is literally the first time I'm talking about it live on anything. So I am kind of scared. It's kind of like the big event where I really don't want it to fail because the machine should not fail. But knowing my luck, everything will go wrong. The van will break down. We will be in a car accident. Everything will go wrong.
I mean, it wouldn't be fun if something didn't somehow go wrong. It's second type of fun. It's fun when you look back at it. It sucks during the moment, but it's fun when you look back at it.
Yep.
That guy Possum is asking where can someone find these 3D printer printing events? That's the tough thing. So these
Yeah.
events are more around a particular market, right? Government, engineering, whatever. If you're looking for 3D printing specific events, you'd look at like Rapid, TCT, Formnext, 3D Printopia's next weekend in Bel Air, Maryland for the last time. Then they're moving up to Philly.
Yep.
You've got Rocky Mountain Rep Fest in Colorado. It's April 18th and 19th of 26. That is already confirmed. There's different maker fairs. Orlando has a maker fair. There's Maker Fair Orange County, which was just this past weekend. Yeah, there's a lot of events. And Smurf in March. I think it's March.
Yes.
Yeah, there's Smurf in March. Yeah, A lot of
For
events.
like more
Open
industrial
sauce. Yep.
events,
Open sauce.
more about the industrial events, it's a lot harder. Unfortunately, I can't say that TCT in the UK is very good. It has been dying a very rapid death
I think if you're in the EU,
for the last
Formnext is
couple
the
of
one to
years.
go to.
Formnext is the big one,
If you want
but
to see industry.
if you want to see industrial stuff, look at the National Exhibition Centre in the UK. They tend to do engineering events and they publicize that quite well. So the big one that we're going to is uh advanced engineering. Um, there's also Farnborough. Farnborough Engineering Expo is huge, but these are big expo centers. So go on their website, see if there's anything interesting to you. A lot of the times the 3D printed dedicated ones suck. It's why we're not launching at TCT. There is no footfall. There's no interest in being there.
I thought you guys were going to launch at Formnext, to be honest with you, but it's kind of cool to see
We
that you're
considered
pushing it
it.
earlier.
We really considered it. The big issue with Formnext is unfortunately safety. The logistics for the safety I couldn't justify.
Yeah.
Going overseas with a small team with a big job would mean we would be pulling 20-hour days and we wouldn't be having enough food, let
Yep.
alone doing the job. And the moment that we're starting to consider when we can eat to keep a minimum amount of calories in a body, that's when I start saying, no, we can't do it.
Yep. Zach Spence said Formnext is so expensive to attend as a nerd who can't get it paid by work. It is, especially if you have to travel overseas. If you're in the UK or the EU, it's not too bad. And I'm certain there are ways to make it more affordable. We are trying to go to Formnext. We're looking for sponsors. I have a couple that I'm kind of hoping and praying for. But we are trying to get to Formnext because a lot of creators don't cover the big machinery and the companies behind the big machinery. I know about it and I follow it, and yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. And Bontech will be there. We can go say hi to Bontech.
Yeah,
and see.
that'd be great.
Definitely not Index on a Core 1. But yeah, I think survival bars. Yeah, you gotta get some of the Soylent Green.
Hey, honestly, if you want calories in your body fast and it doesn't interfere with doing a trade show, white hot chocolates from Costa, the large one is 1,100 calories. You
How
can
much of that
drink
is
it
like
while talking.
good calories though?
Almost zero, but you don't care what good calories are. You are destroying your body
Get
over
a
4
protein
days.
shake.
No, because that actually lowers blood pressure, and that will make you a little bit tighter and all of that. And it's not as high calorie density. The problem with these shows is you cannot stop at all
No.
if you are a small team.
That's what I like
So
about
you
them.
need sugar and calories. It doesn't matter if it's healthy calories. You could be drinking cooking oil for all I care. You just need calories to keep burning. When you get to the hotel, you pop a multivitamin just to give you something in your body.
I've got calories
And
to
you
burn.
do that for 5 days.
Sitting around my
Literally.
midsection.
So over the last
Like,
week, when I was at
cat's like that.
DSCI, when I was at DSCI, and I was actually eating semi-properly at DSCI. We had meals at night, and I was able to run away from the store because we had other people on the store that time because it was a shared stall to go get lunch. I lost 3 kilos over 5 days.
Yeah, I normally lose a fair bit of weight during the couple of days that we are at shows, but the preceding days afterwards, no, I always gain the weight right back. Because I love food, and this whole creators and cars getting cheesesteaks, it's it's a disaster waiting to happen. By the way, whoever does this with us, we will be getting 1 cheesesteak and we're gonna split it amongst everyone that's in the car, because otherwise I'm gonna have so many effing cheesesteaks that I can't do anything with. We're gonna have a problem. But yeah, I got plenty of excess calories on this body. This body wasn't built, this body wasn't sculpted, out of muscle. It was sculpted out of survival. But look, I'm excited to try the Royal Farms fried chicken. I'm excited. There's a Amish
Fried chicken
bakery.
just makes me happy.
There's an Amish bakery like 30 or 40 minutes from Bel Air that I really like, so I'm excited to go there. It is expensive, but it's great. They make some bomb ass cinnamon rolls. They're so good. Uh but I have such a sweet tooth problem. Uh Sweets are my biggest vice, and it is the main reason I put on weight is because I love sweets. I
I
love
don't know where I
sweets.
put it now. I literally, this is how bad a sweet tooth I have. I
But
had a big 2 kilo tub of
yeah,
sweets, and
but
I've
you're how
eaten like
heavy?
half of it today. 73 kilos.
And you're how tall?
177 centimeters.
Let me see how tall I am. I am 185.4 centimeters tall, but I'm like 110 kilos. A little under. No, 110. 110 is pretty accurate.
I mean, I am very skinny
I'm
for my
240
height.
pounds. 240 pounds.
I mean, I'm really happy that I finally got into the healthy weight category, where probably got into that health category from the most unhealthy way possible, which was consuming bricks of cheese and crackers.
Hey,
And every time I ran out of cheese, I bought more crackers. And every time I ran out of crackers, I bought more cheese. And I
look,
got up to 80 kilos. I'm like, I didn't expect to actually put weight on because I normally never put weight on.
you did
And
though.
I loved it. I put on so much weight and I was so happy. I was the healthiest I've ever been.
I just need 10 more pounds and 2 inches in height. And according to the US government, I'm the president. I'm as fit as the president. 6'3", 250.
Don't make me leave. I will leave.
Oh, I was losing a fair bit of weight. I've put some of it back on. It's been very stressful.
Okay,
I
hear me out. Hear me out. This is how you lose a lot of weight. Cocaine.
but I don't have the money for that.
That's why you get the cheap stuff.
Then it's basically what, baby powder? What do they put? Formula, right?
Uh,
They cut it with
uh.
formula? I don't know.
Look, you're playing the roulette wheel of do you get Fent or do you get what you wanted? Nobody knows.
Well, okay, first off, there's a family member of mine lost their battle to opioids, so I'm never going to do that. First off, but two, I am way too poor for that. We are. Just go pay a visit to Caltech. Scotty Almond Joy.
That is brilliant.
Because they're based in Florida.
That was awful.
Brit Trucker says the carnivore diet, or carnivore, I'm assuming he means carnivore diet, cost of beef or meat in general is too expensive. I just no. Ground beef at Costco is up to $6.25 a pound when you buy it in 4-pound bundles.
No, there was a reason I was eating 10-day-old, out-of-date mincemeat.
You shouldn't do that.
Hey,
Like,
to be fair, I
see,
survived.
but your healthcare's free. So even if you have to go to the doctor,
I
you're
wouldn't
not.
go to the doctor. Why would I go to the doctor?
I don't know if it gets really bad.
What are they going to do? Just put me on an IV?
Yeah, see, Doug gets it. Food poisoning's cheaper than drugs. Hey, look, there's no vaccine mandate in my state anymore. Getting sick's cheaper than drugs.
That's awful. That is awful.
Am I wrong?
That actually reminds me, I need to go get my vaccine boosters. So,
In 4 days,
which
we
are
go
free.
Mine are too. Well, insurance covers them.
That means it's not free.
Well,
if you pay monthly for an insurance thing, it's not free.
And in 4 days, Florida gets open carry. That'll be interesting.
Oh, does it? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Nothing will go wrong with that.
But my general consensus is if you're the type of person that has to carry a firearm out in the open, you're not the type of person that I want pulling it in the event of an issue. Why does everybody else need to know that you have one?
Yeah, but it makes your dick scientifically 2 inches shorter.
TARDIS Griffin says Disney becomes Westworld. So private businesses still have the ability to refuse you service if you're carrying a firearm that is visible. And
Also,
Disney is one of those that do.
Doesn't Disney's like entire land run completely separate legal system compared to the rest of Florida because they've got like a special allowance for
Yeah,
that?
you're thinking of the Reedy Creek Special District.
Yeah.
It used to. I don't know if they're still getting sued over it or if they're still actively fighting the state about it. It is a gray area. It is a gray area. That's the best way to describe it. I don't exactly have a good solution for that, unfortunately. But yeah, they did because it was just easier for them to operate under their own protocols.
I mean, when you're that big, you basically are a new state.
Okay, it was settled and Disney lost. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that means for them. I knew that there were some potential tax implications for those in Orange County, Florida, not Orange County, California. That it was gonna like triple their property taxes and things like. There's so many different things that could happen from this. But dude, with how crazy the news is and stuff out here, it is it's like, oh, that was like 2 months ago and it feels like 6 years. We're just overwhelmed. Schmitty said, I mean, in Polk County, I just automatically assumed everybody was carrying. That's right. It's Grady Judd country. I think they just had an active shooter yesterday at Florida Southern, though. I haven't checked on it. Yeah. Targe Griffin says, I think Florida ends up with an income tax after the crazy change going on down there. Oh, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Florida's going to get a state income tax. Look, they'll do some stupid things. I don't think that the constituents will keep their positions in office if they bring in state income tax. It's why people retire to Florida. It's because we don't. I don't know if you're aware of this. So in the United States, Jacob, we have state income tax and federal income tax. So some
You get
states
taxed twice?
Yes. In some states. Some states you don't. There's also sales tax. So you get tax on goods, then you get taxed on the money that you make. So some states don't have state income tax, and they are traditionally havens for retirees because their income is interest. It's all interest. Right, so they'll pay federal income tax on it, but they won't pay state income tax, so it's a lot lower. Yeah, that's no income tax and no emissions. We have no emissions regulations here either. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, I've heavily benefited from the no emissions testing in Florida. I am positive my car would fail emissions testing.
I'm pretty positive your car would fail any form of MOT testing. But most would.
Well, yeah, it currently has the SRS light on, so yes, it would fail MOT testing because the supplemental restraint system, according to the car, is non-functional. I know what the problem is. I'm waiting for the parts to come in. Delaware has no sales tax, so like when we're in Delaware visiting Printed Solid, you always go to the malls in Delaware because there's no state sales tax. You can get it. Like in Florida, it's 7%. So I can pay 7% less for something in Delaware. Yep.
Your country's a joke.
And there are people like, so are you aware of the Montana thing with cars?
I'm aware of the Montana thing with cars?
If you have an LLC in Montana, there's no luxury car tax. A lot of states have a luxury car tax or a supercar tax. Okay. And there's also something regarding taxes on the vehicle. There's lower taxes on vehicles as well in Montana. So you see a lot of like Lamborghinis and things wearing Montana plates. They don't live in Montana. They have a company in Montana that owns the vehicle so that it can maintain this Montana plate and pay less in taxes. There are places in the United States where it is cheaper to set up a business or to travel to make bigger purchases and then travel back home than it is to make it at home. It would be like, literally, this is a good one. I mean, if we go to the Czech Republic or Czechia, buying things there, your British pound is very strong right now. You can get better value for things there. Now, a lot of retail products are roughly the same price, but things like food, amenities, hotels, much, much more affordable. So there's value in like, okay, well, I could travel to here, but if I go, a couple of states over, I can do it for a lot less. Oh, did Amber call me? False call, thankfully. Oh, I didn't get it. So if you accidentally called me, it didn't ring. So Amber was getting a massage. She was working hard out in the yard yesterday. We were both expecting the mower to take a lot longer. Oh, hey, if people are still here and you're in the States right now and you do a lot of yard work, Hart, yes, the Walmart brand. They have their attachment-capable tools, like for string trimmers. So there's a tiller, a brush cutter, I'm trying to think of all the ones I got, edger, pole saw, and hedge trimmers are so cheap right now. So cheap. I have all the attachment tools I could ever want right now, and I paid less than $180 delivered for them. And Amber was playing around with them. I was working on the mower. I was expecting the mower to take a lot longer time, but we had trimmed the trees a couple of weeks ago. We let the limbs die on the ground, then we drag them out to the fire pit and burn them. We hadn't been able to cut the grass, so we didn't move the limbs at all. We had to start moving the limbs, and the limbs are very heavy, so yeah. Hart, H-A-R-T. Let me grab it for you guys. I've never used Hart either, but it's for their attachment capable stuff, right? I should have affiliate links for this because I would make bank. Hart's attachment capable. I'm gonna send the link in the chat right now. It is, from what I can tell, compared to the Ryobi stuff I have, it is rebranded Ryobi. So $25 for a brush cutter, $50 for a tiller. The tiller works on my 60-volt Greenworks. It's geared down. So all these tools are designed to work on 40-volt tools. So if you have at least a 40-volt tool or a gas tool that is attachment capable for a string trimmer, it will work perfectly fine, and you'll save a ton of money. $25 for an edger, $25 for a hedge trimmer, $29 for a pole saw. Like, it's so cheap. It's so cheap. And it is Ryobi. It's, from what I can tell, it's just rebadged Ryobi. They work great. There you go. You're welcome. And if that's not worth a like, I don't know what is. A subscribe. And all the other things that you should do. Go check out our merch. Oh, I must have closed the link.
Oh, look what you done.
Oh, well. There's a link in the chat. You got to scroll up and find it. To shop.3dmusketeers.com. I guess I put it in the announcements channel in the Discord. I can find it that way. But we are offering 21% off of merch today only. Today only. Here. There you go. 21% off of merch today only for Earth, Wind, and Fire Day, because it is the 21st night of September at midnight Eastern. And that is in 8.5 hours. I will be turning off that coupon code. It will no longer function. And the only way that you will know about it is if you've watched this episode live. So if you're listening back audio only, sorry.
Yep. And obviously, while you guys are at it, go subscribe to the
new channel,
YouTube channel. Go do it.
Making awesome. Oh, Amber didn't call
you want
me.
to.
Oh, right. Last time we were working outside, Amber accidentally called 911.
Ah.
Yep. She pocket dialed 911. That's right. That's right. Yep. And yes, Scotty, they are light duty tools, but they're pretty much perfect for most people's needs. Pinino said, "Am I late again?" You are 3 hours late. Yes. Yeah. we're coming up on the end of this old girl here. Any final thoughts? Because honestly, I've kind of covered.
I think we've covered quite a lot.
Ben
We've
said,
had it's been a nicer episode, I think. Like leaving the comments. Actually, no, put a poll up before we end it. If you guys liked the slightly more unhinged, just backward and forward chatting about stuff than having full on like topic points that are very like one-sided where we're like we have a thing to say. Because like obviously when it comes to certain topics, we are very knowledgeable versus other topics like this where we're just kind of discussing it together, like more impromptu style. So yeah, it'll
working
be nice
on
to
it.
see what you guys think. Do you like more impromptu or do you like the more structured topic ideas?
There. That's. Do you prefer more unhinged or more structured episodes with the answers of get wild or stay on topic? I have a feeling it's going to be reasonably split, but I could be wrong. But I guess that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the idea of the live show, is that it is going to be a little bit more unstructured, and then the edited shows that go on the Making Awesome channel are where the full structure exists. So I don't know. What else? I'm just seeing if there's anything else. Nice comments. We need to fix that.
We've got 36 voters at the moment, and they're all saying get wild.
75% of them, not all of them, the majority of them.
100% of them, of the people who have voted for get wild, have said get
Whoa!
wild.
Penguin Makers, are you local to the area? Penguin Maker says now you have to go to Sunrise Eatery and get some pretty good food. Do you remember that I've talked about Sunrise Eatery, or are you local to my area and know of that restaurant? So it's a family-owned breakfast restaurant that does breakfast all day. I mean, they do other food, but you go there for the breakfast. How the hell do you know about Sunrise Eatery? It's in Zephyr Hills, Florida. Zephyr Hills, Florida is known for the bottled water, skydiving, and not a whole bunch else. K2 Kevin said, safe travels to 3D Printopia. FYI, Jerf, Japan Rep Rap Festival organizer, will be at the show. Maybe a good interview for you. Yes, I saw that. I am so excited. I want to talk with them. Thank you for reminding me about that. We've been talking in the 3D Printopia Discord. Yeah. It's gonna be really cool. I am excited for a potential the potential to go to Japan for a Rep Rap Fest.
That would be so
that'd
dope.
be so
hey,
dope.
We've officially sold our first machine to Japan.
That's cool.
That's cool. So I could be going to Japan anyway.
Printed Trucker knows about it too. Been there 4 years ago. Omelet was fantastic. Yes, it's great. I know Dale's in Pasco County, but where's Penguin Makers based out of? Now I need to know. I need to know this. I know that Sunrise is known locally, and if you're anywhere near Zephyr Hills, go to Saigon Cafe in Zephyr Hills and get the pho. It is so good. It is so damn good. It is my preference if I don't want it. Well, I can't get pho at Bangkok Sushi, but for fried rice, it is my preference if I don't want to drive out to Bangkok Sushi to get fried rice. Yeah, Saigon Cafe in Zephyr Hills, so good. Wait, Dale's in New York. How do you people know about this stuff?
I was just gonna say, how do people either both remember it and know about it?
Or they just Googled my address and they're like looking for restaurants around me. I don't know. It could be that weird. Oh, Haines City for Printed Trucker. That works. Yeah. You can go to Posner Park over in Haines City. No relation. But funny, because they have car dealers out there and I always try to get discounts for them and they never give it to me. Duff says we're just good stalkers. You're Canadian, Duff. Of course you are. It's the Geneva checklist for you. We've been through this. Born and raised in Florida. Okay. All right. You know. Yeah, Sunrise has moved. They're in a different location than they used to be. Cafe Risque. I've never been there. It is exactly what it sounds like. They have tons of ads when you're driving on 75 for Cafe Risque. It's a full nude strip club. Um, yeah, but they also have free showers for truckers and truck parking. Like, they know their
You're
audience.
gonna definitely need the free showers after that and
And then
before.
there's the Lion's Den, which is the other, like, big one you see when you're driving on 75, which is the adult superstore, the Lion's Den. Um, John says
Okay,
my
that's
mother,
pretty
my
cool.
mother-in-law makes amazing pho, but she's in Orange County, California. I love good food. Maryland Fried Chicken Spot in Haines City. Okay, all right, okay, I'm down. Look, I always like good food. You don't get a body like mine by being picky about food.
Mm.
But all right, let's give away some filament and send these people to go hang out with Mr. Steve Builds. Make sure you stay till
Hell yeah.
after our little outro, 'cause we kill the recording. This has been fun. Episode 244, the Making Awesome podcast, all about following the rules and carbon corruption with the Eligu Centauri Carbon and the latest of the GPL violations. We are hoping that Eligu listens and will finally actually take this community seriously. If not, I think it's best that we always go through and vote with our wallets when and where possible. Eligu does make a decent machine, but ultimately, if you're just going to abuse the system that enables you to make this decent machine, then, I'm a bit upset about it. But that is all we have for you all today. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. And hey, don't forget to leave a like and get subscribed. And as always, keep making awesome. Have a good one.
Okay, nobody go anywhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. Don't go
Don't
anywhere. We're not leaving. We're gonna do a giveaway now. I gotta turn off my recordings. Turning off the recordings. I know, John, you haven't gotten yours yet. I am still behind. I am always behind on these filament giveaways. It takes me so long to do each one of them. It is such a pain. I'm so sorry, you guys. I promise that I'm working on them. It just takes me a very long time to get it done. And I try my best not to overwhelm Printed Solid with like 18 giveaways a day, But we went for 3 hours to give away 3 spools. Where is the last one for the 21st? There we are. Beautiful. And of course, you must be present to win. If you are not present, you don't win. Let's see what we got here. I want to start making it so you guys can come out to the Rep Brat Fest, Jacob. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, I would love that. I would love to get into a position where I'm not having to be managing the entire factory 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Like my initial goal of everything post the launch of C2 is get a small team of dedicated engineers so I can just give them the stuff that normally means that I don't get to do the cool stuff, or get them to do the cool stuff while I do the boring stuff that isn't worth their time. Because I want to do cool stuff. I want to come out to the Wet Trap Fets. I want to get out with the camera equipment and I want to be a nobody and get you filmed. I want to do cool stuff.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
It's the weird position I'm in of I'm both a business and a creator, but I'm also just like a massive turbo nerd when it comes to printers. And
Yep.
it's just nice. I like meeting the people.
Oh, bad math
Love
on
to.
that one. Oof. I'll respin it. If it's bad math, I respin. It's not fair. I am assuming by that name that they are not in the United States, but let me verify. I want to start doing like 3D printing related to food. Yeah, they're not in the States, but that's okay. We'll see if they're even here. I don't know what we can do with 3D printing in food, because like you have to be kind of careful about it, right? So
Yeah, well, so there's conflicting evidence. Like, there's a couple of research papers saying like a dishwasher does make 3D prints food safe again. and then there's also evidence that's saying it doesn't make it food safe again. So I think
Yeah,
like at some point
I
I
don't
need
want to
to
take
make a
that risk.
proper. Well, the problem is we haven't done official research. We've only done ancillary research by seeing a post somewhere, and then they've done a bit of research on that. But we
Hmm.
haven't done a proper literature review of bacterial growth in additively manufactured filament-based prints. Because there's a lot of nuance, and a lot of the times the research papers do it wrong. Like research papers are not guaranteed to be correct.
Yep.
It's when you have overwhelming evidence is when you can start to understand it.
Yeah, I don't. I also don't want to like do something wrong, I guess, and people potentially get sick over it. You know, maybe they eat
Yeah,
ten
like
day
here's a
old
fun
beef.
fact. Don't eat 10-day-old beef,
Yeah,
even if it smells only slightly off.
and it's funny because the final winner was Eat the Chef. Uh, I can't make that up. Um, but
It's okay. My mindset for food poisoning is just if I nuke it, the only thing left behind is dead bacteria.
that's what I tell Amber. She disagrees with me.
I mean, she's right. It doesn't get rid of the toxins and it doesn't get rid of any like super strains. And eventually, if it's like 100% bacteria, you eating it anyway will still like murder you. But
So what if I just dunk it in bleach, sprinkle a Tide Pod over it?
why is that such an American thing? Like, why do you wash your chicken? Stop washing your chicken.
People
Stop
wash their
doing that.
chicken.
People wash their chicken. And I've only seen that in America.
You can brine your chicken.
No, they like wash the chicken with soap.
Oh, okay, Lucas is here. That I didn't I wasn't able to tag you. I probably screwed that up. All right.
Yeah. Just
Lucas
here's
is
a
the only one
PSA
that's
to everyone.
replied.
Do
Lucas,
not
DM me
wash
on
your
Discord.
chicken. If you wash your chicken, I'll get mad at you.
You can't heat kill the things that give you food poisoning. It's not bacteria. You know, my
Amber, please don't say that
my
because I was
multi-thousand BTU weed killer from Harbor Freight disagrees. I can
no.
destroy anything with enough fire.
I was really hoping, Amber, you didn't say that because I was running on the assumption that it was a bacterial
Oh
problem
no.
that was going to cause the food poisoning.
No.
Um, I'm now even more concerned because I have another meal to eat of my
Jacob,
beef, which is
don't
now
eat it.
11 days old, but I cooked it
Jacob.
yesterday.
Jacob, don't eat it.
Oh, but
Please.
it looks so good.
Jacob, I don't care how good it looks. Don't risk getting
I,
sick.
but I don't like food
I
waste.
will send. Doug is still in your country for a couple of more days. I will send him to your house to not only slap the shit out of you, but bring you food.
It's not, I
Doug,
don't
I
need
will
food.
require you to film it.
I have meals ready to make downstairs. The problem is I don't like food waste. So I'm just there like,
I don't like food
what if I
waste
don't?
either. I don't. I don't like food waste. But there becomes a certain time. At least, see, I'm in the States. If I get like really sick and have to go to the hospital, it's cheaper to throw the food away. I guarantee it.
See, I
Here's
don't
what
have
you can
that.
do.
Though to be fair, if I get food poisoning, the C2 launch is going to be screwed. I'm not going to be able to meet Doug on Tuesday to give him a load of stuff for Printopia. I'm going to feel like ass because I can't meet up with people I want to meet up with.
Jacob,
And
the opportunity cost here is not worth it.
but
Jacob,
£4.50 worth of food.
Jacob, I will send you 20 pounds. I will PayPal you 20 Great British pounds right now. If you're worried, I do not care about the cost of the food.
No. It's not about the money. It's about the waste. I
Deal
don't
with
like
it.
just bin. I don't
Then
like
throw
that.
it outside and let an animal eat it.
No, because I put things in it that are bad for animals.
And you put
It is
things
a
in it that are
really
bad for
nice.
you too, but here we are.
It is a really nice like carrot and passata sauce that I made with a
Well,
couscous base and
too bad, Jacob. Jacob, I
it's the spore
swear,
toxins.
Jacob.
Wait, no, Amber said it's the spore toxins, whatever they're called, that bacteria put off is usually what gives you food poisoning after food is cooked. Obviously, you can still technically get food poisoning from bacteria. Okay, Amber, is there any amount of nuking that will make it safe? Because I made it safe by, instead of cooking it for 14 minutes, I cooked it for 16 minutes and I made
That's
sure it
not
was
how
above
that
72
works.
degrees.
That's
Yeah, it
not how
is.
that works.
Time at temperature reduces the amount of bacterial growth because it kills them. And it's a logarithmic curve.
You know what, Jacob? Do what you want with your life. You know what?
I
Go
don't want
ahead.
you to say that because
Go.
now I am going to bin it
No,
if you
you know
say
what?
do what I want.
Jacob, go ahead and do what you want. But this is all live. And I am not editing this down. Help me God. And your mother will tell me. I will text her. And I'll be like, hey, I'll text her on like Tuesday. Hey, did Jacob get sick? Is he feeling all right? Because if you're not feeling all right, I'm going to make sure that she reminds you that we told you not to do this and you still decided that £4.50 was worth it to you more than all the opportunity costs associated.
I even put pork lardons in the
Oh no.
meatballs.
Look, as I don't know this person's name, says, "Hey, Darwin had a good point." Yeah. Yeah, is £4.50 worth more than seeing Doug?
Yes. It's the meatballs. They taste so good. Oh, come on. Like, it's meatballs. It's not about the money. It's about the meatballs.
Then go out to the store, get new beef, and make new meatballs.
No, because I have like 6 more meals worth downstairs that I need to eat by Tuesday.
So then why don't you eat one of those that you need to eat by Tuesday?
Yeah, but I was going from oldest to newest, and this was the oldest by 10 days.
Too bad. It's garbage.
I'm literally getting messaged by people on my phone now saying, I'm going to come round to your house and
I
throw
will
it
text
away
your
for you."
mother.
They're literally messaging me.
Jacob, I will text your mother and tell her what you're doing.
Please don't. She doesn't know how. Well, actually, no. My dad will probably be like, "Yeah, we'll be fine. Just nuke it in the microwave."
Trucker says stick to 3D printed cooking is not your forte. Actually, he's good at cooking. Decision making is not his forte.
Steve Nobb's asking, when did I first cook it? I cooked it yesterday. Yesterday made the meat 10 days old.
Jacob,
As in past the use
argument
by date,
that
not best by, use by
Jacob,
date.
the argument that you are using is roughly the same argument that the anti-vaxxers use when they say they don't need to vaccinate their children because they'll just get the natural vaccines. So, Jacob, do you want to be an anti-vaxxer for food? Or do you want to go ahead and make a different meal for dinner tonight? Mullet with the PLN of 10 saying botulism is bad and heat won't help. Swedes aren't going to help you on this one. Swedes aren't going to help you. It's no worse today than it was yesterday. Amber said, I can explain to you medically, I can explain to you how you medically recover from botulism and you're not going to like it. I can do it too. But my f-stop goes up, so I get darker when I do it.
Oh, that's too far out. Nobody see that room. There we go. There we go.
I'm not gonna.
Am I still centered? Am I centered? I should be centered.
It's centered enough. We're ending the show anyways. So thank you all for coming out and enjoying the craziness that is the Making Awesome podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks. There's no show next week due to 3D Printopia. So I don't know. Don't do anything we wouldn't.
Hey, that's dangerous to say after we've just been talking about what I was almost about
Don't
to
make
do.
bad food decisions. And if you're in the Philly area, reach out to us so we can get together.
Make bad food decisions as long as they taste good.
Sure. Mitch with the $5 says stuck on a toilet for hours isn't fun. And I agree with that. It's not. So remember, kids, invest in a bidet. That's all we have for you all.
Actually, I was just about to say that. If you get food poisoning, the best investment you can get is a bidet.
Just get a bidet. Just get one.
Just get a bidet. Once you get one, you never go back.
And if you're feeling extra bougie, one with a heater in it. I am not bougie.
Nah.
I don't have
honestly, as long as the water isn't freezing, it's fine.
Just wakes you up in the morning. Anyways, have a good one, y'all. If you are a part of our Discord at the $10 tier and higher, come over to our Discord, hang out with us there. We'll be there for the after stream hangout. And go subscribe to the Making Awesome podcast channel. Jacob just linked it in the chat.
Yep.
And yeah, go check out our sponsors, Printed Solid, 3D Musketeers, Construct 3D. Like, subscribe, all the other things I'm supposed to say. Go buy some merch with the code that ends tonight. See you later. Go hang out with Steve.